It's done. It's going.
That's it. It's going.
It's going.
We're live.
Okay. I broke a sweat hammering on that stupid oil.
Hammering. Kim was making a ton of noise. I
playing
had
up.
my fingers in my ears, making me dizzy.
Oh, goodness. All right. Welcome to the stream. I'm Kim of Kim Fixes Things. You can find my channel at Kim Fixes Things here on YouTube. But we are currently on Buff Del Campo, the Buff Del Campo channel, and I am here with Buff Del Campo, your regular host. He will keep you entertained all night. I will try and fix things. I will be here interacting with the chat, listening. I do follow along. I do pay attention to what's going on sometimes. As best I can. It's hard sometimes.
You see what we have right here from last night?
Yeah.
Man, look at that.
It's looking okay. I try and do the hammering before and after the stream. It is orange. Orange.
Hemi-orange? Hemi-orange.
You know, one of those cans says hemi-orange. The other
one
says
just
Chrysler orange.
Says Chrysler orange, okay.
I don't know.
Maybe they
One of them's that brand of paint that you really hate.
No, they're both okay.
I thought you said you didn't like
this. No, VHT's okay. Duplicolor's okay. Oh. What I don't like is that other one I was showing you. Yeah, some kind of oophole or something. Man, that just made a mess. And I bought a couple of them, and it just spattered and ran, and it was awful stuff.
So, tonight, we are in the shop. It is Friday night. Did you watch John Wilburn? Did you see him talking to Cope? John Cope of Cope Racing Transmission. Oh, that's a mosquito.
You got a mosquito? Did you get it?
No, he got away. I saw him fly between my fingers. Darn it.
Yeah, that's a good
they
live
talked
show
about transmissions and
with
stuff.
John Cope. Always entertaining with John Cope and John Wilburn, the two Johns.
So, yeah, that was entertaining. And then I believe there's some other people streaming tonight. So I apologize if we're stepping on any toes, but it's time for us to get started. You know, so that's okay if you're not here the whole time. You know, if you want to bounce back and forth, I don't care. I'm not.
Hey, Carly.
I'm not the jealous type when it comes to those
evening.
sorts of things. So if you can be here, we like it. If they're talking about something that you really enjoy or you're very invested in another stream, that's okay too. We're here a lot. We're here on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays.
We're here
sometimes Sundays, occasionally a Monday.
If we're in the shop, we just pop on.
Sometimes we pop out on a Wednesday. I mean, we're in the shop a lot of days. But we're always on Tuesday night live in our studio. In our studio, we have a magical green screen so we can give you visual stimulation by throwing stuff up behind us, and we can make ourselves small in the corner so you can see big pictures.
If you can believe it, green screen doesn't pick up stuff that's green. So if I wear a green shirt, my head's just floating around with no person. This hat is just green enough. It makes it look like my head's cropped off. That's why I don't wear this hat during the live show on Tuesdays. But I wear it everywhere else in the shop.
It's a really fun feature. A lot of people have a StreamYard and they can do a little bit of green screen, but we have something a little bit more beefy that runs on our computer that lets us do some really pretty fancy stuff with our green screen. So we enjoy it a lot, and we like it when our friends and viewers send in photos of their projects or just whatever interests them, and they send them to Buff Del Campo.
You know what I just did?
Yes.
Okay, turned on the fan on the computer, so hopefully it doesn't fail on us.
We do apologize. It is typical for us to have a little bit of delay in the chat between our voices, and our lips don't match the words, and we have...
We're working on that.
There's stuff in the pipeline to fix that. It's not like that when we're in the studio on Tuesday night, but out here in the shop, we're on some antiquated computer hardware, and it's in line for an upgrade, but you know, these things take a little bit of time. Some super chats really have helped for the saving up for the newer computer.
I'd say the super chats probably paid for it.
Maybe we'll pay for that, yeah. Although people have suggested we use it for fuel or for other types of parts, and you know, it all ends up going back into keep making the channel work. So we buy gas, so okay, we'll figure it out. Anyways, KJ Kylie, welcome to the stream. You are first. I award you points. You get 2 points. One for being the first person, and one for being the closest to start time without being before start time. So, and since you got both, I'll award you an additional point. You get 3 points for getting those 3 things going. So since this is...
Felt like something was biting me.
Since this is not our long form content, this is a live stream. We will be greeting people as they come into the chat and leave. When they leave for the night, we'll probably say goodnight and stuff like that. We will interact with comments throughout the stream, so it's a little more offbeat, squirrely than maybe something that's more structured could be. We don't have a specific topic that we have planned that we have to talk about, so whatever's on your mind. Otherwise, we're going to talk about the project that we're working on. And right now, the project that we're working on is a 1966 Dodge Dart with a 225 Slant 6. And we've already made some repairs to the car. And this engine is going to be an upgrade from the one that was in it. The one that was in it had some pretty worn out rings, we're finding. And it had a pretty serious leak. I know, I'm just giving them away tonight. One-Eyed Cat, welcome to the stream.
One-Eyed Cat was in there in John's.
If you'd have been here, you probably would have gotten some points. Did you guys have any luck talking to anyone about your chimney yet today? I saw her say something earlier. I gather that they have not come up with a plan yet. No, I don't know that it's jealous. I just think that it is an observation that I usually only give them out like 1 or 2 at a time. 3 is a lot of points at one time. I do give out points for random things when I see them as something interesting. When people answer questions that we have, because sometimes we're like at a loss for words, or we're talking about a topic and there's some tidbit, some factual piece that we cannot quite be sure of, and we will say, and if somebody will Google it faster for us, then we can think of it ourselves. We almost always want to give points to that, but not always. It's random. It is totally random. I do not guarantee you will get points for anything. Lester LeSabre is here, says good evening. Glad you're here. Thanks for coming in.
I need to go visit a buddy or two tomorrow.
Okay, good. The Friend Network is always the best place to find
somebody
good workers.
That knows something about bricks, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, man. Chimneys can... The thing of it is, right, is the people who know masonry, who know brickwork really well, they get into the circles with the builders, right? And they don't want to deal with a homeowner because a homeowner has lots of requirements and they're harder to get paid, and they don't have the time. So they usually, a lot of brick people don't do retail work. They just do commercial work. So they work for builders. And so then if you go looking for a brick person, instead of reaching the brick person directly, you reach a contractor. And a contractor knows some brick people. So now you're 3 layers deep and everybody wants to make money off of the deal. So the price...
Good to have friends.
Yeah.
Friend or two, yep.
But the problem is it might not be so fast, and it sounds like you guys are needing to get this done.
Oh God, it's gonna be cold up there right away. It was 80 degrees here today. That's Fahrenheit scale, of course. But yeah, 80 degrees.
I sure hope you're getting some of those fair
degrees.
winds of the warmer weather while you're waiting to try and get this chimney thing figured out.
And Tim's here.
The other thing, in regard to that chimney, that I did when I had a house a few years ago, right, is instead of repairing my chimney, when I saw the cost of repairing my chimney, and I don't have a fireplace, it was just my furnace and my hot water tank that used the chimney. Well, I replaced the water tank with an electric water tank. It was old and needing replaced anyways. And then I replaced the furnace with one of those direct vent furnaces that uses the PVC pipe and it goes out the side of the house. and then you don't need a chimney. It just goes out and has one pipe coming in, one pipe going out the side of the house. You don't need a chimney no more. You got electric.
How did that work? Oh, it was electric. Okay.
No, it was a gas.
Yeah, see, I had a gas one in an old house in Ohio. I bought one of those gas, looks like a fireplace, and man, that heat that house up so quickly. It was amazing. It didn't have a chimney.
No, this was a furnace.
Oh, okay.
And it was a 93 plus. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, this looked like a fireplace, but no chimney. It's pretty cool.
See, there's power vent, and that you still need a flue, but it's
isn't a ladder. I just need to corner him. Promise him a ride in your car. Scare him into doing the job.
I mean, the way to get him there is to pony up the dough.
Oh,
and
man.
Get an idea of what you're going to pay somebody else, and then have that ready for this man in cash, and be like, look, I've got cash to pay you once this is done and my gas is turned back on to my furnace and it's working.
Or maybe he needs a brake job or something. Put a set of brakes on his truck.
Maybe, but cash, I mean, even for a friend, cash talks, right? Like if he's got other things to do and you've got cold hard cash, he's gonna drop other things and come. Sometimes this time of year, there's gonna be a lot of people turning their furnace on, and all the furnace people are gonna be busy. Like, you gotta get this. I don't want to make you nervous. Just get it done.
Yeah, you know.
We're pulling for you. I wish I could come and help you with it, but it's
a long trip.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
I don't even think the ladder's the hard part, because you can go buy a ladder for a couple $100, $300. You can get a ladder, but getting somebody who will point out a chimney that's got bricks falling out of the inside liner.
Oh man!
How does they get in there? Usually there's a ceramic liner.
I've catch covered.
Well, you're in a much better shape then. You're good. You're a smart guy. You'll figure it out. I shouldn't even try and tell you how to.
Yeah, you know.
You're probably more stressed and want to talk about the stress than you are don't know what to do. So I apologize if it seems like I'm trying to tell you how to manage it.
Which reminds me, that chimney we have in the bar room at the end of the house, like as far from the rest of the house as you can get.
Yeah.
Fireplace there, what's it going to heat? I don't know, but someday we probably ought to fix, clean that chimney out. And then we got a fireplace that's just way down in one corner of the house where we really don't need heat down there. We need it up the other end. So.
Well, I mean, if all else fails, we could set up
go hang out in that room. Go hang out in that room.
Yeah, and if we warm that up, once the furnace circulates, it'll pull the heat out of there a little bit. Better than nothing. Man,
that heater's been running like 2 days ago while it was cooled off. That thing just run and run and run and run. I don't know where all the heat's going. It's going somewhere other than where we want it.
Well, the other thing is that furnace is really sensitive because it's one of those heat pumps. I don't think it uses a lot of electricity to pump when it's only a couple degrees colder outside. But yeah, electric heat's expensive here.
I hate it. I just... See, we're out in the middle of nowhere, and then they put gas in about a year after I bought the heater. So I bought a new electric heater with heat pump and electric elements and all that, and then they put gas in. It's like I wish they knew they were going to do that before, before I bought the heater. But such is life.
Miss One-Eyed Cat, if you have a house that's like 3 stories tall and they scope your chimney and the whole thing needs reconstructed and it's like $6,000 or $7,000, you can literally replace the furnace and the water heater for less than repairing the chimney. I've seen that and you can get somebody in cheaper or like more quickly to do the furnace than to point the chimney. So
One-Eyed Cat. Climbed enough roofs in my younger years. I'm a great ground guy. That's what I am. I'm the ground guy.
Yeah, my insurance doesn't cover roof work anymore.
She's the one I go, hey, Kim, can you look up in this chimney for me?
If I got to climb on a roof, I want it to be a really tall roof. So if I fall off, it's over. I don't want to.
You don't want to get hurt.
I don't want to get hurt. Oh man.
Man, I don't like roofs. Man, I don't like being on.
Did you guys see this motor that we painted? We're proud of it. It's orange. Look how pretty.
Oh.
Slant 6 roof.
Getting
Slant
everything.
6 engine is orange. It is 3 stories,
Three-story.
Well, usually though, the interior part of the chimney doesn't deteriorate because
Watch his cords.
it's dry. Okay. It's usually just the outside part that gets messed up from the rain and wind and the sun.
Yeah, we have Tim's saying he had a wood stove. We got a wood stove here in the shop, which is really good. It's just, in the wintertime, we can't be spraying paint with solvents, and we can't be using a lot of acetone and things. So that's the only downside of it. Man, it stays nice in here, though. We got a good wood stove.
If we wanted to
wish I had another one just like it in the house, but
Yeah.
I don't.
If we wanted to use a wood stove in the house, we would have to poke a hole in the chimney up above where the stove would be, into the chimney.
Or put a new chimney.
Or put a new chimney in.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we wanted to use the existing chimney, you can't just like vent it into the fireplace. I saw on Marketplace somebody was selling a wood stove, and they literally had like a trap on the stove that went up and over and down and then into the. And that's no good.
No.
I'm sure it didn't work.
Well, I had one
That's like insanity.
I had one that went out the back and then up, and that smoke would come out the front. What I found is 45-degree angle chimney or straight up like this one. We never have smoke come pouring in here.
Never, no.
And in my other shop,
Well, you have to have enough chimney on top so that it draws.
my other shop, the one in Ohio, it was like a 45-degree angle going through a wall and then up, and that would back up sometimes. Not often, but it would, and that was never pleasant.
And a wood stove is so much better to make heat than a fireplace.
You can't believe how good this wood stove is
Because
here.
a fireplace, a lot of the heat goes up the chimney, and it pulls a lot of cold air from the opposite side of the house through doors and windows and cracks.
You know what we need to do when we start using this wood stove? Move this whole apparatus to the studio over near there so I can sit near the wood stove when we're doing this.
I mean, we could do that. Now that this corner's cleaned up, I'm sure we can
We'll move
reorganize some stuff over
we'll
here.
move a workbench here or something, yeah.
Yeah,
Because in the wintertime, I like to hover around that wood stove.
it is really nice.
It's really nice.
It takes a while for it to warm up over this corner of the house.
house,
Oh, of the garage, I mean.
garage, yeah, we could.
We made some improvements to the garage heat-wise, like spackling some of the cracks in the ceiling. We can finish that up. And then
Ceiling's a lot better.
the doors need some kind of weather stripping on them.
Yep.
Boy, it's slow going here today. Oh, I just scratched my ear and I look like a weirdo.
Well, you know what happened? I think something bit me up here. That mosquito that's flitting around. I think he got me, or she, or whatever.
Thing.
They. Yeah. I can. Be nice and warm. Electronics will be. Oh. Maybe the computers will keep us warm this year.
Yeah, we'll put the computer over by the outside wall where it's cold all the time.
Kim, I think something bit me back here because it itches like hell.
You walk too slow coming from the house. Well, thank you. I actually brushed my hair today. No, I didn't. I look good in long sleeves. And in black. He says, you look good in black.
Oh,
I was wearing that sweatshirt the other night.
One night on a live, she
that.
did her hair and makeup and black shirt, and I said, man, does she look good. Put a 45-degree out the back of the wood stove, and I covered the face of the fireplace with 18-gauge sheet metal. Keep the house warm.
Nice.
So, you were over there hammering the crap out of something before we went live.
Oh.
I had to have my fingers in my ears because it was so rattly.
Let me go get it. I'll show you what I've been doing.
There's
That's my cue to get back to work.
No, I was just I thought you'd tell about what it was, but I guess that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna bring it over.
I am. Show and tell.
Show and tell, yeah.
Show and tell. Why just show them when I can tell them? All right, so we painted the engine last night, but the oil pan was too greasy to even touch yesterday. So today it was in the 80s, so I took the oil pan out and pressure washed it, And then
look at this mess.
I know it's been
Ooh.
it's been smashed and then hammered back out.
Okay,
at least
we're
once.
gonna need to heat that up, hammer it out, and then run a little brass or something on to make sure it doesn't leak, like we did with the last one.
It didn't leak.
Oh, but look at it.
Looks lovely. No one's gonna see it under that car.
Leave stuff like that.
I don't know.
Tim says, glad you got that stud out of the head. Hey, thanks for watching the video.
It came out of there. It did. Yeah. Yeah, we did that last night actually before we streamed. But no sense talking about it when you can't see it, so.
Is that the second coat of paint on the engine motor? The engine motor.
Yeah, we put 2 coats on last night during the stream.
Yep, it's got two.
We didn't put any more after the stream. It just dried. It looks good. The thing about a Slant 6 is you actually don't see very much of the block. So the fact that it has a nice base coat is a good start. But mostly you see the intake and the what else do you see?
Air cleaner. Turbo.
Yeah, air cleaner and that stuff is really where you see the most.
Oh, I'm sure.
You want to hit that with the torch? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I don't want to do it during a live over there, making that thing red hot and then beating it back out with a hammer and then run brass over it so we know it doesn't leak.
I mean,
remember we did that? We did that on the Valiant. Remember?
I know, but it didn't leak. I know it didn't because we had it on the car already.
Yeah.
It's already been tested.
It's been tested.
Yep.
Is that's the pan originally off the Dart?
Yeah, I don't want to try the other one.
It's not the pan from the.
I could compare them apples to apples, but the other one's dirty, so I just want to use this one.
This is one eyed cat. I did my computer fixed today. $56 later, the battery exploding.
Oh, did you get it to work? Is it better now? Please say it's better now. You gotta have some kind of luck.
Yeah, I get tired of computer problems, and I'm at that point where I'm going to have to do something about mine pretty soon. And then this one, we already plan on replacing this shop computer, and that's coming right up.
Yeah, it is. This got a wire brushing a little bit ago here. Oh man, look how.
Says, yes, it is. It's swelled to extra large, not quite explode. Okay, you know what? I had what do they call those things? A power bank that you can carry with your phone, give you a lot more range with the phone. And a solar collector on it. I just set it in the window in the kitchen, and it'd sit there all the time, and it just was always charged. And I went over there one day to get it. That thing was about 3 times fatter than it had been, and the case was split open. I went, oh no. I put it in something, a steel can or something, and I took it to our convenience center where we take the garbage, and they have a big steel thing with a grate over it where they put batteries. And I showed it to them, and they said, just put it in there. Okay. So, yeah, there went my power bank.
Did
Tommy Hanlon's here.
Was it a nickel-cadmium battery, or was it a lithium battery? Because nickel-cadmium ones don't explode, do they?
Well, I'm sure the ones that swell up are the lithium, I think. I'm not sure.
All them old batteries.
All those batteries do?
Even old alkaline batteries will swell up when they're bad.
They leak all over the place. Did you hear me? I said Tommy's here. I don't know if you heard me.
Oh, Tommy, welcome to the stream from Dublin. Tommy, you're up all night.
4:22 a.m. I gotta figure out.
Thanks for stopping
in. He's 6 hours difference than us. Okay, I just gotta remember that.
So is he in tomorrow or in yesterday still?
He's tomorrow. See, we got about an hour and a half to go, and he's already there. So
okay, yeah, right. That makes sense.
He's Saturday morning, and it's Rich is here. He goes worldwide chat. You're right, worldwide chat. Right now, it's U.S. and maybe Canada and Ireland. Yep. So Tommy, what's the weather like there? Is it getting colder? It got colder here, and then today it was 80 Fahrenheit.
We had a really nice reprieve today.
It was just like, what, 30 something. See, I don't know exactly what
that's
it is.
That's a really nice reprieve from the cold that it was just a couple days ago. I need something and I don't know where it is.
Yeah, Rich, I was trying to think of something to put on there, and I was actually in a hurry. I was trying to do that thumbnail before John Wilbur went live, and I had like 2 minutes, and I'm just going as fast as I can. I'm trying to think of something else to put on there, and I go, oh yeah, Worldwide Chat. Put it on there, got it up, and as soon as I loaded up, John went live. I was like, man, I just made it. But I didn't want to miss him tonight. And of course, he had John Cope on. You know, that's a good deal. Miss One-Eyed Cat said, yeah, what Kim said about the battery. Rich says, Friday is usually my music day. Just finished my music club. Lester, I had a cell phone have a swollen battery, and it pushed the case back open like your power bank. Yeah, man, that power bank, all I want to do is get it out of the house. And I put it some kind of a steel can that had, something I got food out of the house, straight to the, I don't even know if I wanted it in the car. Took it to the convenience center. This convenience center up here is pretty good because we take all our garbage and trash up there, and then they have places for glass and plastic and cardboard and paper and steel and aluminum and all this kind of stuff. So, and then they have that place to put batteries. So, and I've been places where having the garbage collection's expensive. This place is $5 a month. It's like, yeah, okay. And
Don't tell them it's not expensive, but they'll raise the price.
I pay it by the year. Well, I went up there to the office and paid, for a year. And the woman, I said, this is a deal. And she goes, yeah, I'm from Ohio. It was more up there. I said, I lived in Ohio, and it was a lot more up there. And she goes, you can't believe that people actually complain about that. Mike N. Super Chat, $9.99. Happy Friday, everybody. Enjoy your weekend, Kim and Buff. Thank you both for all your content. And thank you, Mike. Did you see that, Kim? I don't know if you were outside.
Mike N left a super chat?
Yeah, I don't know. You went out the door right when I was saying
Mike,
super
that's very
chat.
generous of you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Tommy says it was a
never expected, always appreciate.
Summer day yesterday for the end of October. We're doing well. I went for a 20-kilometer cycle yesterday through Clontarf, looking out on Dublin Bay. Very nice. Well, that's good.
That sounds neat.
Kim, what are you making?
This is, I will show you in a second. I'm treating the rust on this so I can put some paint over it.
Oh, what is this stuff? I gotta be careful how I twist around. Magic potion. Potion number 9.
Snake oil.
Oh, we need Dean Stevenson in here because I just said potion number 9 and he would probably sing that song.
I would know. Da-da-da-da. She said, I'm gonna make it up right here and sing.
Yeah, that's it. But you can't sing the tune because then...
Smell like turpentine and look like Indian ink. I held my nose...
Okay. You want to try to get us
Then I took a drink. Okay, you can show what this is.
I don't know. You're trying to get us a strike. Oh. Who is it? The guy up there in Idaho. I can't think of his name. Barrows.
Barrows, yeah.
Barrows. He was whistling like just some kind of random, and somebody claimed it was their song, and he got a strike for that. Had to share his profit with the guy. Like, you got to be kidding me, what? And what did he get? Like 50 cents or something? The guy got half of it. This is what she's doing. Permatex rust treatment, trying to make it straight. But
just
my
be
hand
careful,
doesn't
don't
do
get this on your hands or your skin
Okay,
at all,
and,
because it turns it black.
Mike says milk magnesia in your coffee. Uh-oh.
Don't put it in my coffee!
And they're asking where the block is. The block is right here, and it's on a stand, but I really can't roll it any closer to Kim right now. But I guess I don't want to move the camera, because the camera's... Once I move the camera, it's really
Well,
hard
you
to
can
get it
see
back.
it. It's right there. It looks
Yeah, it's right there.
very orange. I'll roll it over there once I'm done with this stuff.
And it's looking good. I walked in here and I said, "Oh man, that looks good," because the paint was dry and I could touch it. Every time I paint something, some clown comes along. Is this wet? And sticks their finger in it. Makes a big goob in the middle.
That would weak me out.
Car
I don't
fender
really
or
like
something.
clowns that much.
Oh, I've seen people do that. Just like, and you know who usually does it? You're working for somebody that's a boss, comes in and sticks their finger right in the middle of a top of a hood or something. And you go, what are you doing? You're the boss. You can't say anything. I've had it happen more than once. The boss sticks their hand in the wet paint. You can't say anything fast enough. They got their fingers in it.
Can't say
Man.
anything. Well, that's how it goes.
Yep. Oh yeah, after like 4 or 5 days prep, and then finally get good coat of paint on it, and then they
complain when it's not, if you don't get it fixed. When are you gonna fix that big bullet in the hood? Never. Not redoing my work. Boss is always right, I guess. Whatever they gotta do. Should have had a sign on it that said don't touch it.
should have put a sign on it.
Should have had
You walk it, boss walks in a paint booth,
roped off.
smells like somebody just sprayed paint, and they stick their finger in the paint,
Should have had it roped off.
By the way, Google Maps says 32 minutes each way. Tommy's heart, lungs, and especially knees says 2 hours. Every time we go somewhere, it's Google Maps, and it knows the speed limits, and this is for driving a car. And I'll look, and it's like, you can never beat it. You can never even get it, because you got to stop, and you got to take breaks, and you got to put fuel in the car and all this. So I go, okay, we can do that as long as we don't ever have to put gas or stop and take a leak or something. Yeah, geez.
I had a boss one time was giving me heck about why does it take you so long to get there and stuff like that. I'm like, because that's how long it takes to get there. Like, well, are you stopping? I'm like, no. And then later,
and then there's traffic.
He's got to go out to that place, and he's like, wow, that was a lot further than I thought. Like, all right then.
Years of kneeling on the ground fixing stuff no one else would touch. Yeah. Kim was telling me about a plumbing job she had, and she had to dig underneath. Nobody else would do it, so she had to dig underneath something and get all this mud and everything. And
I had to dig through
through
shale.
And she did it. Nobody else would do it.
On my belly, underneath a poured concrete footer, with a hammer, in the rain, uphill both ways. I wish I was lying. It's really how bad it was back in the day, and if I didn't do it, my whole family would starve.
KJ Kylie says, I like it when they ask, is this a hot wire? Yeah, touch it. Don't touch my paint, but go ahead and touch the wire.
Like, go ahead and touch it, see if it's still hot. It should probably be cool off a bit by now. Go ahead and touch it.
I was just looking at something over here, and I was thinking about something, and then I lost my whole train of thought. I was gonna say something over here. No, it's just my mind is like not as.
Has anybody else used this stuff that turns rust into other stuff?
I figure I'm good for an average of 50 miles in an hour on trips with all the stops. When I take a trip, I drive at the speed limit or above a little, or if traffic's moving slower, of course, lower. But I'm not going to be with the fastest cars out there, but I'm not going to go the speed limit if everybody's going 5 over. I'm going to probably go 5 over. So when I do that, man, I take trips. I'll look at the end of a big long trip, and I'll average like somewhere in the high 40s. I usually can't make 50. On a short trip, I might be able to do that, but on long trips, like 47, 46, that kind of thing, it's really frustrating. Because I look at it and I'm thinking, yeah, I should just be able to go 70, but Okay, so yeah, they're asking, what is this goop? Is that a rust converter?
Show
What
them
is
again.
it?
It's Permatex rust converter. It's
It says
pretty much
rust,
the same as all the rust
rust
converters.
treatment. It's this stuff. Not a sponsor, but definitely something she's using.
So it should make the rust, it should encapsulate the rust, and then I can put some orange paint on it and it'll stick on there for a while. This shouldn't get as hot as like an engine block. Well, I guess it'll get the same temperature, huh? Because it's full of boiling oil.
That you know that white cabinet there that what do you call that thing? The Mopar.
Cabinet of Mystery.
The Mopar cabinet of mystery. See that thing? I built a couple airplanes over on the west side of Ohio, and I was living over in northeast Ohio. So that cabinet was in that guy's shop, and we put the airplane parts in there, and I was using them. I was taking them out, and he'd buy new stuff. That was the airplane cabinet of mystery. So when we got all done, I built him 2 airplanes. We got all done. He was going to close that shop out, and he goes, "You can have that if you want." He goes, "I'll bring it over to you." And he had a refrigerator, and he brought me the refrigerator, and he brought me that, and a couple other things, and he put it in the back of his pickup. And he drove him over to where I was. And he's always saying, "Man, it takes you so long to get here." Then he drove that stuff over there and dropped it off. He goes, "Man, I can't believe how far you drive to work." It's like, he did it once. And he was like, "Oh, man, that took a while." Yep. But I worked for him for 2 years. And he's a good guy to work for.
2 years. And finally he admitted it's a long drive.
Oh, yeah, he realized how far I was driving to go to work. I'd drive over there twice a week. I'd stay for 2 days. I'd sleep in the shop. There was a table, and I just put a sleeping bag up on top of the table.
Oh, I'm sweating tonight.
And then
It's only 72 in here.
and then I'd go home, and then I'd come back for 3 nights. Well, I guess it was 1 night, but 2 days, and then come back for 2 nights, which is 3 days. But I'd sleep on that table. The bad thing there was a Burger King across the street. Man, I lived on Burger King, and man, did I gain weight while I was there. And I became larger diameter. She doesn't like me using the word that I use for this, so I became large diameter, and I had to get rid of it, and it was hard, but I did it. That metal doesn't look so rusty, doesn't it only work on converting rust? Oh, that's rusty.
So I got as much rust off as I could, but unless it's perfectly clean, bare steel, it works great. There's plenty of rust on there for it to grab into.
I bought a gallon of vinegar.
That's what they said.
And I don't know where
vinegar,
it is.
But I already bought this, and it doesn't last forever. It doesn't have an indefinite shelf life. Well, vinegar eats rust, but then this works. This encapsulates it. It's not going to rust again until it does.
Who was a guy in Las Vegas, had a TV show? He did all the restorations. Rick's Restorations.
Okay.
And that guy, he'd always give tips and stuff, and he would sand steel, and he put vinegar, and he goes, use cider vinegar, and I think he like apple cider vinegar, and that rust would just melt away, and then clean it all up and prime it and paint it. And, his stuff looked, he did some nice work. So the rust converter went on brown and turned blue-gray. That's a question.
Yeah, it's like a foamy, creamy kind of tan, and it turns black, a purple black. Don't open it. Don't open it.
Why?
Because if it gets on your fingers, it turns your fingers black. It stains
Why
your fingers
will it
black.
take the rust off my fingers?
It will not take rust off your fingers. It doesn't have a really bad smell or anything like that.
It has like a little odor, but nothing.
I mean,
I thought it was like gonna knock me silly, but it didn't. It just.
But it doesn't take the rust off. Like you don't want rust scale or like the thick rust. You want to hit it with heavy grit sandpaper or whatever, and then I tacked it down with some acetone. And
how do you get this crap off there?
It'll dry. Just give it.
Dry
overnight, and then we can paint it. And the paint
you
will
leave
stick
it
to
there?
real good. Yeah.
Oh. Well, I didn't know that.
If you sand this, you'll bring the rust back out if you sand it too soon.
I didn't know that.
It slowly chemically reacts with the rust and turns it into something else. I forget what it's called.
So you have to clean the vinegar off, or it'll flash rust very quickly. I bet it would. So that's a problem here. Is that a lot of the year it's kind of moist, and I got used to Arizona where we had very, very low humidity, so you could sand something and leave it for days, it wouldn't rust. And here you can't leave something for a half an hour to be rusty because there's so much moisture in the air. Well, in Pittsburgh, where you from, it was even worse.
Oh, it's as bad as anywhere ever.
So, yeah, in Arizona, you see cars that don't have much paint on them, but they don't have any rust either. Rich says, I use vinegar for mill scale. This one
It'll take mill scale off? How long do you have to let it soak?
Vinegar. When he says, I don't like the word fat or overweight. She said the word, or overweight. My mom was a big woman, and they are bad words to me.
Did you say that word tonight?
I did not. I said I was a large diameter from eating too much.
I told him not to say that word. That the word is upsetting to some people, and he's better to avoid it.
Well,
not that he can't say it.
I last night before we went on.
Oh, we had a big argument about it.
We had an argument over this because there are all these cords, and I had to plug one of them in. I'm trying to identify which one, and there's one that was a larger diameter, and I called it that word. She flipped out. But don't use that word. It's insulting and all this. I said it's an electrical cord. Now I say a large diameter electrical cord.
He changes what I said. Basically, what I'm saying is, why would we risk using words that YouTube might flag as objectionable?
They got a lot of those.
There's no reason to. If we can avoid it, we should.
Yeah.
It's just like the word with the timing. Of course, we're allowed to say the word. We can say it all we want. But what if they flag our stuff and then they just don't show it to anybody? Because people say, oh, well, I have free speech. Sure you do. You can say whatever you want. But that doesn't mean YouTube has to monetize you and show your videos to anyone. So
I made a mistake on one video that I think I ended up pulling it down. But in the title, I used the word for, when you move a distributor one way, you advance the timing. If you move it the other way, we learned you have to say de-advanced or unadvanced.
And that was the context.
The context, but that word begins with an R. I said that, man, they didn't put it out. I had 3 views in a month. It's like, okay, you can't use that word. They didn't want that word that says to move the distributor the other way. Because it has another meaning somewhere else. What's that?
It takes overnight. Yeah, putting muriatic acid in an engine to unstick it is desperate measures.
Well, and
desperate measures.
You know what that does to aluminum?
Yeah, a flathead V8 doesn't have aluminum.
Well, it sure does. There's pistons in there.
Oh, a flathead Ford has aluminum pistons?
V8 has aluminum pistons, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you might be putting new pistons in, but it's still, I think it's very desperate measure. Yeah,
ridiculous.
It is,
right.
And maybe it will change. Maybe the AI will learn to understand context, and then you'll be able to use all the words again.
Well, the thing is, the context makes all the difference in the world.
It does.
So, and I didn't have any.
There's other words.
We didn't anything bad. And what it was we weren't even moving the distributor. She'd bought what's that thing called? An HEI. And the HEI, as you bring the RPM up, it should advance the timing. But it wasn't. It was going the other way. And I used that word for the direction that HEI was. It was defective. And yep.
Didn't like it. It saw that word. Plus, we put that word in the title.
Yeah,
and that might have been a real problem.
And that's what the problem was. I put it in the title.
But YouTube does watch your video and then automatically make subtitles so it knows everything you say.
Muriatic acid works on concrete around a pool. Man, it really does work on concrete.
For paint.
You gotta wash that stuff off though. See, and I had so much muriatic acid around because I had a radiator shop. In radiator shops, you get something that's got a lot of crud on it, and you're trying to clean it and scrape it. warm it up a little bit, and put some muriatic acid on there, and that lead oxide and everything just boils away. And but you got to get it, you got to neutralize it right away. You can't leave it there.
Yeah.
But man, it's rough on everything. And I get a whiff of that, like muriatic acid gets on something that's a little bit too hot, makes like a steam cloud of muriatic acid that goes in your nose.
Isn't
like,
that
whoa.
the same stuff they sell at Home Depot to clean paint off of?
Use it in pools. It's pool acid. When you're trying to get the pH right in the pool, you use that acid. And that's what I always bought, was the stuff from the pool supply places for the radiator shop. But I wouldn't use that in here. It's too corrosive. Use it in a building like this, and everything in here will corrode just from the steam. So
do a number on it.
Nope. I'll use something else now. That is just too rough. Let's see here. We have Diamond Spec Plaster Pool, works great. Man, my pool's gone. We've been slowly tearing it apart. It's a above ground pool, 42 inches deep. So the deck's a little higher than that. Deck's probably, I don't know, probably 54 inches, something like that.
Yeah, well,
so,
it must be in a nice pool.
so it's on a hillside. So part of the pool is at ground level, and the other part of the pool is not at ground level. It's an above ground pool. So we're taking that all out. Well, that flat portion where the bottom of the pool is, I want to I'd love to put concrete in there, and then because right now it's just got a lot of sand and everything, and then I'd like to put a wheel alignment rack in there because you could drive onto it. You could just walk around under it. It'd be wonderful. So that's like one of those, I wish I could do it in the future things, that when a wheel alignment rack comes up that's the right price, maybe we'll go get it, you know. We have a 12-foot in-ground closing it this week. Winter is coming. Oh, man. What you doing there, Kim? Oh, you're getting some kind of chemical off the shelf.
I got it.
Oh!
I'm so sorry. I got to clean this cylinder head off. It's flash rusting from me washing it today.
What is that stuff? Oh, denatured alcohol.
Just alcohol. I'm just going to use some brushes and just get some of the moisture off of here. And the flash rust will come right off if I don't let it sit overnight.
Oh, yeah, because she's out there today with a pressure washer going after everything.
Going at it.
Yeah, winter is coming. Oh.
Yeah, it'll
It's
be
like winter is just like, why does winter take so long and summer just, boop, it's gone. You know, it's like trying to do everything in the summer. And that's what I liked about Yuma, Arizona. You just work all year round, and it's never really cold winter. Cold is like, you see people with big, heavy coats on, and they're cold, and it's like 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what, like 13 or 14 C? And they're cold, you know. Let's see. This one-eyed cat. There is the other words we don't like. I won't say them here.
Oh, there's lots.
There are the letters.
Just avoid them, you know.
D. There are the letters I don't like. Okay, I'm not sure what that is, but okay. Drain it halfway, shock it, and put the cover on. Man, I just.
Well, that pool is empty. It's gone.
That's empty. It's
There's
gone.
a big hole cut out of the side of the swimming pool.
It's
So I could get in there with the skid loader.
I don't ever want a pool again. It's like if you have a pool in this environment where there's oak trees all around, the oak leaves dropping in it, and the bugs getting in it, and it's just it's an everyday, at least an hour job. Not fun. Although when the grandkids, oh man, my voice. When the grandkids were young, it was really fun because my son and daughter-in-law come over and the kids, and it was a fun thing. But they're all grown up now and doing other things.
When I got here, the decision was already made. The pool was destroyed. So it's okay.
When I was gone.
It
It just didn't get cleaned, and it turned into a big old
Everybody who lived here was working full time, and a lot of work looking after us.
Turned into Blackwater and Pollywog Farm, and yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of responsibility that some people didn't want to. Not everybody wants to deal with it. I don't even think if we just had somebody want to give us a pool, I don't know how much I would want to have it. It's cool. But,
Pool is work, yep.
Yeah.
I would rather rebuild a Slant 6. You know, that's it. I would rather be working every day than... When I was here, I'd go out there at 6 o'clock in the morning, the summertime, and so it was already light, you know, and already starting to get warm. And I'd go out there and I'd clean the pool and make sure the pH balance was right and everything. I'd spend a good hour and a half with it. And I'd do that every day. And that pool would be crystal clear. If I missed a day, it would be kind of a cloudy blue color.
Hour and a half a day.
Right, an hour to an hour and a half a day. And if I missed a day, it would be kind of cloudy blue. If I missed 2 days, it'd be cloudy green. I didn't dare miss more than that because the cloudy green was hard to get back. It'd take me a couple of days before it was nice crystal clear again. And man, copper sulfate for algae. Oh, I remember that. Are you using the pool side against the hill as a retaining wall? That's what I plan on putting there as a retaining wall.
Yeah, and maybe an alignment ramp or something.
And then the alignment ramp.
I was thinking that trailer is like maybe we can just use the trailer as a ramp.
The trailer as a ramp. Which trailer?
The car trailer.
Oh no, I don't know.
It's in bad shape. It might be cheaper to buy a new one.
Bring up a swimming pool I lost last year. I will get me a new one like I had. You know, my mother always wanted a swimming pool, and she never got it. Her whole life, she wanted a swimming pool, never got it. And then I had one, and it was just so much work. I suppose if I lived somewhere that didn't have oak trees all hanging over the top of it,
that's a big difference too.
It would have been better. Olive's here. Good evening. Only Semi here. How are you feeling? Well, she has a smile on her face.
Welcome to the stream, Olive. Thanks for coming in.
Kim's over here detailing out a Slant 6 head.
I hit it with a pressure washer today so I could paint prep it because I thought it would be cooler if it was painted like the motor.
Rich says, I'm in-ground concrete and plaster, diamond dust that shines in the summer. Yeah, the only reason I had a pool, because I bought the house, the pool is here, and had a wood deck around it. It is pretty nice, you know, but now it's just, it's a place where there was a pool. The deck's all terrible. You know, it's a wood deck that 20 years ago was a nice deck. Now it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's been that long since
it's going to be firewood this year. My cat says the last pool lasted 23 to 24 years. It's good money. Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah, but this one was with the house when we got it. Well, it was fun for a couple of years, and then I went and worked. I worked all over the place, and it just got let go. Oh, it says I'm doing okay. Eyes a bit tired. Back's better. Back's better. That's a good thing.
That's good news. Glad to hear it. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. My neck still feels like... Oh.
Rich says we put the pool and pool house in. Oh, I see. Yeah. So you wanted it. I'm just not a 78 grand. Holy crap.
What?
Yeah.
What part of the country is that?
I don't remember where Rich is.
That's a lot.
Wendy says I never had a green pool. And I got it in 1998. Green pool, copper sulfate. Yeah, mine was an above ground pool. I had a new liner put in it, and it was beautiful, crystal clear, kind of a bluish look. It was beautiful, but I had to stay after it every day.
There's a lot of trees and shade.
He's in Pennsylvania, I remember. He's in PA. I really liked oak trees when I moved in, but I don't like them so much anymore. They're
I still like
messy.
them, but man, they are
messy.
No
So messy.
doubt about that. You know what I wanted to do today, but I didn't get off my butt and do it?
What's that?
I wanted to go to the machine shop and ask them if they could take 60 thousandths off this head.
Ooh.
I don't think I want to pay for it. Anybody know how much that would cost?
You know what I was looking at today? Is the tooling to do the stones and the kit and the guides and all that. So you can do that. And you know what stopped me? I didn't know the diameter of the valve. So before we leave here tonight, I want to measure the diameter of those valves.
I'll give you some valves, sure.
Okay, put my measuring tools over there in the toolbox. I put it away. No trees here. Big plus, yeah. We're in PA. Oh, she's asking Rich where in PA he is. I was in PA for a few years. I was in. If anybody knows where Sharon is, Sharon's right on the Ohio border. I was like 2 blocks from Ohio, and Sharon, Pennsylvania. I'm trying to think of what. Is it the same diameter as the intake? The stems?
The stems are, yeah, they're 3/8 stems.
Oh, they're 3/8? Well, I don't need to measure them. I know they're 3/8.
Well,
Man, I got this thing jammed in here. Why is it caught? Stupid thing got in this. Man, I got this really tangled up. It's not coming out of here. What did I do? Everybody's watching me fuss around with something that's messed up. Yeah, they're like 371. This one's like 372. Okay, so I know what they are. Here, Kim, you can take these.
okay, I will in a moment.
Okay, I got them set here. Okay, so 375. So the holes are probably 375, maybe less. I don't know. We used to just ream them to fit, so.
What is it, 372, 373?
371 and 372. Okay,
yeah, then this should be 375.
I'm in Fort Washington, Willow Grove area. Tommy Hanlon. Who needs a swimming pool? In Ireland, you need a wetsuit and a snorkel just to walk around. It rains so much. You know, I spent time in the UK. I was in England, kind of in the London, and yeah, went all over the place there in Farnborough. I don't know if you know where those places are. Lots of green rolling hills and grasslands and everything. Is Ireland like that? I'm thinking, the same area of the world. I'm just wondering if it's like that, because I've never been there.
Yeah, I don't think you do, but do you have a valve lapping tool?
No. Rich says, no address, you're not stealing my car. Rich, actually, I'm in Huntington Valley, PA. I don't know where that is. Like that down towards Philly. I don't even know where he is. 5 minutes from the Philly border. The only thing I know over in that area was I took my son over to Valley Forge right when he graduated from high school, because I wanted him to go to that Valley Forge Military Academy, and you could come out of there as an Army officer in 2 years, and I really wanted him to do that. He didn't do it, so I kind of know that little bit of that area, but never really spent any time near Philadelphia. But he's done well. He enlisted in the Army, and since then he's still in the Army. He's got his degree and he's working on a Doctor of Education degree, and he'll have that by the time he retires from the Army. So, what are you looking for?
May I have those valves?
Sure. I didn't know what you're reaching for. You're kind of reaching.
Yeah, all them people's out from Philly.
So,
cat.
So I guess he's done all right. I really wanted him to get a college education before he went in the Army, but he did really well. When he says, I'm not going anywhere near Philly.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. She's like, no. about nip.
Why do you think Ireland is so green? Well, you're talking about rain, and I just wonder if it's all like rolling hills like that and green grass and everything. England was beautiful, but I don't know. I know a woman that moved to Ireland. I knew her in Yuma. She was my insurance lady, and she married a guy from Ireland, and off they went. Never saw her again. My boy is training to be a pilot at Northeast Airport. And I went through all that. I did that, 1980. Well, I started in the late 60s, but I was 15 years old. I just couldn't afford to finish all the pilot training, so I went and I finished it up when I was 25 years old. And then did a lot of flying. Let's see. Rich says I live in a nice neighborhood.
Nice.
We live in an old hillbilly house out in the middle of nowhere. But
It is a nice neighborhood.
But it's a nice neighborhood because the neighbors are kind of...
We bring the property values down.
I'm afraid we bring the property values down because we get some old cars. Like, we live on this hillside, and the road's up here, and the hillside kind of goes down, and I try to keep the old cars where they can't be seen from the street. Because there's people that don't like that. And the ones we can see from the street, I try to make sure they've got license plates and insurance on them.
Hey, we're trying to make them all run. How's that?
He loves to fly. Yeah, I was like that too. I loved it. Shaquille. I can't pronounce it. Chicago. Good evening.
Welcome to the stream.
How are you doing?
Where did they say they're from? Are they from India?
I think Shaquille's from India. Are you from India? I'm not sure. Because I think I said that one time. Says, what's up?
I think this might be a burr taken off the edge.
Oh, you got burrs on there.
This one.
Yeah, I don't really want to do this with a, look at that. I think that needs to get hit with a stone.
You'd be surprised what I can do with some lapping compounds.
Rich says, no old cars out back. Driveway is a car show on the weekends. Yeah, so you live in a really nice place. How are you, Kim and Buff? We're doing okay. Kim's over here working on the head for her Slant 6, and I'm sitting here talking, measuring valves and things. I'm not really doing much. Yeah, we've got old cars out back. I know, that's kind of sad, isn't it?
That's sad that we have old
Well, I know, like, Rich says he's got a driveway. It looks like a car show, and it's a nice neighborhood. Well,
hey, we're all just wherever we are.
That's always nice, but I'm...
Good. I mean, congratulations. You probably worked really hard.
Worked really hard for that. I worked really hard for this, and I sometimes wonder why. It's like, own it, so... Happy Friday. Yeah, happy Friday. Ooh, we got another hour left of Friday. Dirt Road Landing. Good evening. Hi, everyone. Just got back with the family visiting my parents. That sounds good.
Oh, welcome to the stream, Dirt Road Landing. Is that Dirt Road Landing? What's the significance of Dirt Road Landing? Is he one of your pilot friends?
Dirt Road Landing, is that like, tell us about that. Is that like where you land on the dirt road? I've done that before. Many times. Or is it something else? Kim, what are you... Oh, you're trying to make that work. I don't know if that's...
KJ Kylie, you have told us before that you live in a burb of the burb. Which one is it? It's not going to tell us where your house is. Just tell us which suburb do you live in.
Maybe Kim needs sandpaper drums.
I live near Lawrenceville.
Oh, we have sandpaper drums. She's trying to lap the valve, but I'm thinking we probably need to get some stones and touch those up a bit and make them, do more of a valve job on it.
I just want to see how it cleans up.
Okay.
Oh no, I already did the porting. This is just the valves. I want to give the valves a little cleanup before I...
Oh yeah, she did a pretty good port job on it.
And if you want to see... Oh, I didn't put that video out yet. Shoot.
My partner lived in Phoenix, Arizona. She liked the weather there. Yep, so did I. I owned a house in Phoenix for a while and then sold it and ended up moving east. And eventually I ended up in Yuma, which is near Phoenix. And I was working for a company that rented some houses for everybody that worked out there at the test site. So I lived in one of their houses for many years. And then I had a mobile home for a while. And then I moved back here. She described the weather in Arizona. Who in the right mind would want to... Okay, here's the thing in Arizona. Where I worked, it was... Now, this is Fahrenheit. You're going to have to do some conversion, or I can do it. It was in the summertime, maybe like 3 to 4 months a year. It was 115 to 122 degrees. What is that? 50 degrees C? And about 10% humidity. So, you kind of get used to it. And out on the flight line, I just put plenty of sunblock on. A lot of the guys would wear long sleeves that were loose, white shirts that were loose, or really light tan shirts. I used to just put sunblock all over me, and stand under some shade structures. But any time I wasn't out there working on the airplane, the hangars were air conditioned, the offices were air conditioned, cars are air conditioned, houses are air conditioned. The only time really in the heat is when you're going from the car to a building, or from the building out to the car, or if you're working in it. And I kind of got used to it, and yeah, I don't know. I kind of miss the warm weather. Most people consider it as stinking hot, but I with the low humidity, it's actually pretty nice. Let's see, your lapping compound, yeah. Baldwin. Okay, lapping compound. We did, this is, Wendy says, we did our front porch years ago, and the guy next door said, don't make it look too nice. I don't need my taxes to go up. Oh, we got the tax bill today. It went up, not quite as much as I thought it would. Actually, it was a pleasant surprise.
Oh.
It's a lot more than last year, but it's nowhere near what I thought it was going to be. So, it's okay.
You're being so kind. Thank you for sending nice messages.
You can lap the valves with a battery drill.
Yeah, I know.
You need that little suction cup thing, or I guess you could do it just from that. But I think she's just trying to see what the surface looks like.
I want to see how deep the scarring in the surface is. They aren't real bad. They don't need a lot of cutting, or maybe they do, but I don't think.
Yeah, I think probably could. It'd be. Oh, look at this super chat. Lester LeSabre, $10. Thanks for the entertainment and education. Maybe you could park the worst looking vehicles in the hole where the pool was. Well, that hole where the pool was is where I want to put an alignment rack, which wouldn't really show from the street. It just looked like the back of a car there, because it's downhill a little bit. And then the hill goes down further, and that's where the cars are. So if you come over to the street and kind of walk onto the property and look down, you can see them. They're kind of lined up like they're parked. Try to make them so they're not just haphazard all over. Try to make them look like they're together, and sometimes they're not. Let's see here. Dirt landing. I have 20 acres in the middle of Wisconsin with a quarter-mile driveway or dirt road. My dream is to build STOL, preferably the Zenith, and be able to land on my dirt road while visiting. Which one? Like a 701? Or no, what's the other one? I know what you mean, like the high wing one. Oh God, what's that guy's name? Chris Hines? Is that the one Chris Hines designed? I think. Okay, when I can't use a piece of fuel line with a clamp so you can use your drill lap. Okay, that makes sense. 20 acres, nice. We're 2.5. Yeah, I've got about 4 here, which is.
Yeah, and
a farmer takes care of half of it.
Yeah. And a lot of it's in the tree road too, like right up against the fence where the cows are.
Goes downhill, and then there's like a row of trees where it's kind of like an underground creek. There's a lot of water. It's really soupy, and so the trees grow, so nobody can really see through from that side. And there's like 100 acres of cows over there, so
they don't bother us too much.
I mean, it's grass-fed cattle walk around out there. It's actually kind of pleasant.
I just want to say thank you, Lester. That's very generous of you. It's never expected, but very much appreciated. And the Bronco that needs the motor put in it, which I have a motor, I just haven't had a chance to put it in yet because I've been putting the motor in this. The Bronco is hiding behind the pool. And actually, pretty much all the vehicles are down below the pool by the tree row where people can't really see them and where you can't see them very well from space either. Just kind of
Hi, KJ. I know where that's at. Had relatives that lived there. I'm from up north a ways in Kidding and
Kittanning.
I don't know how to say it.
It's Kittanning.
Kittanning. Okay,
I
that
have
makes
a very good girlfriend up in Kittanning. I miss her so much. Jen, the one. Jen,
that's the one that came here.
Yes, Jen.
I know about where that is. Okay. Oh, super chat. Thanks. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Tommy Hanlon, funny. I've known people from Finland who came to live in Ireland, but they could not handle the cold here. Man. Although it's warmer, it's damp cold. It's right into the lungs. They're not able for it. You know, I've been to Finland only, I was there in the winter, but I was in Helsinki in the winter. I guess it was cold, but I've been in Russia, which was colder. Although, I guess that area isn't that cold. It's as you go east in Russia. Man, you get away from the that warm part of the Atlantic Ocean there. Cools off quickly. There's a guy I'm into some of you know I'm into radios and stuff. There's a guy in northern Finland, way up in the northern end of Finland that has listens to radio from all over the world, and I'm amazed what he listens to. But he's like solar, and he's like doesn't have a lot of AC hum around and everything. It must be really nice up there because he listens to stuff worldwide. It's amazing what he's able to listen to from up there in northern Finland. Like I shouldn't be getting into the radio thing here.
You like the radio stuff.
But sometimes I do.
I was curious if Lester LeSabre has been able to do any more work on his car. I haven't seen anything from him. Have you seen any videos from Lester LeSabre lately? Remember he was putting that car together. He had it running. Didn't he have it starting and running? And he was having problems with the running. Wasn't he having problems with it running? I'm trying to catch my brain up on
Trying to catch the brain up on everything. So, Dirt Road Landing. So that's why, because it's
These valves are cleaner than
he's into flying.
I'm gonna get you.
Man. If you start flying, be careful, man.
I'm gonna get you a magnifying glass.
A magnifying glass.
And I'm gonna show you these seats. I'll get you guys the other camera. I'll bring you the camera.
I've been to Finland about 12 times back in the 90s. It's a great country. Hopefully someday I'll get back to Helsinki. The only reason I was there is because I was going in and out of Russia, and it was and I'd always take Finnair flights, and so I'd go to Finland sometimes. But I spent more time in Russia, and that was back long before Putin's time, and it was.
He always has to say that, or else
because
people
think I'm like
what's
some kind of It's what a mess now. So it was shortly after the breakup of the Soviet Union, and I spent time there, and it was interesting place, interesting people. You know, I only know one person left in Russia right now. Everybody else I know has gotten out of there, and some of them were younger men who were really needed to get out of there. Oh, Kim, that was like
It's good.
It's tipsy.
Check it out. Check out those seats. They look lovely.
See, I look at this. Look at my mustache.
Don't make them their eyes water, bleed, hurt.
Oh, Kim, there's a bunch of little
Pits and pots.
Yeah, this needs a little touch up.
Well,
I need some light. I need more light.
More light. Okay.
More light. There's not enough light.
I need more monkeys.
Um,
I need more dogs. I need more dogs.
dogs.
I need more dogs. It's a line from a movie.
Ah.
They X for pets. They have an antidepressant for people, and they're trying to sell it as an antidepressant for dogs. And he brings the dogs, and he was like, I don't know. I need more dogs. I need more dogs. I don't know if these dogs are happy. It's where I don't see the light. It's gone. I need more dogs. There it is. I hid it over here for myself. Oh, it's already plugged in.
Oh, I thought you had that little yellow light. The yellow, you know the light I'm looking for.
We're ignoring chat because
I know. I'm not looking at the chat because I'm looking at for a light
trying
over
to
here.
look at valve seats.
What happened to that yellow light that looks like a little lantern?
I don't know. I wasn't looking for that. And now I've got this one ready.
Okay. Next problem. I'm one of these guys that has to take my glasses off so I can see. What is this right now? Is that the surface? You know, see right over here.
The little black line?
Move the light this way a little bit.
The little black line is nothing to worry about.
No, it's the looks like pits down in there.
There are some little pits.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so you know
this one is better. That one's the worst.
Okay, I want you to look at this stuff in the magnifying glass.
Okay.
She's doing all the work, and I'm critical.
Man, is he critical.
Well, I mean, you're going to put that up in the engine, and then you can't get at it, you know. And when you can't get at it, then I wish I would have ground those valves, you know.
This makes it look worse.
Okay, dirt road landing. Sorry, had to change the diapers for the little one. Oh, isn't that fun? Yeah, like a Zenith 701. Yep. I was going to say look at a Titan Tornado, but you can't buy one of those anymore. You have to buy used ones. Been working on my back porch before it gets too cold. Oh, this is Lester saying to you, I've been working on my back porch before it gets too cold. Thanks for asking, Kim.
Lester, I feel you. We're working on this because I had that procedure on my neck and I'm still really weak. And like, today was the first day I did stuff outside. I did pressure washing. But as far as moving stuff around in the yard, I just don't have the stamina to get any of that work done. So at least I hope you're able to get the back porch taken care of before the weather hits too hard. Man, I hate the cold. That's why I moved here to Tennessee. I literally moved to escape the cold of Pittsburgh.
Mrs. One-Eyed Cat says, I need cats, LOL. And then One-Eyed Cat says, no, you don't.
She needs more cats.
It's Wendy and Dawn disagreeing in the chat. When I first became aware, I didn't know you yet, but I knew you on chats. You were both Don and Wendy English on one login, and then they became separate, Don and Wendy, and then they became One-Eyed Cat, Mrs. One-Eyed Cat. But I knew them by then. Dirt road landing, or even an ultralight. You be careful with those things. I've flown a lot of ultralights, but they were pretty substantial ultralights, like chromoly tubing frame with aluminum wing, or something just bigger than an ultralight. Titan Tornado, single seat Titan Tornado with 503 engine, which is really a small engine, will get you in and out of anywhere. And if you have a 912 engine, like on a two-seater, oh my God, that's a hot rod. Have you a seat cutting tool? No, I was just talking about that with Kim, that I was talking about buying a seat cutting tool. They had a Titan Tornado at Oshkosh this year. Who had it there? I mean, there are a lot of them around. See, that's an airplane. I did most of the design work on the airplane. And we had probably, I don't know, I think they sold about 600 of them over the years. But, and the completion rate was pretty high. But John Williams, that was the owner of Titan, got killed in the day before Oshkosh this year in an airplane crash, and not in a tornado. But so I don't think the company had a presence there. They probably planned on it, but everything changed, sadly. Good night, guys and gals. I have family issues going on. That's Rich, GT350. Okay, Rich, thanks for stopping in, and have fun. Good night. One-eyed cat. We got enough.
Thanks, Rich.
We got enough of them.
Come back again another time.
We got enough of them running around the neighborhood. You know, I miss our cat, but, you know, if we want to go somewhere, we don't have to go chase around trying to find somebody to feed the cat, you know. Dirt Road Landing obviously is owned by... Oh, okay, an attendee. Okay, yeah, they were... See, I'd worked Oshkosh many times in the Titan booth and stand there for a week showing off airplanes, you know. And so this year, there was what I heard was there were a couple of dealers that went there, and I don't really know what happened, because I'm not in the loop anymore, and I haven't been since I haven't worked at Titan since '06 as a Titan employee, and then I was back there in summer of 22, working on some new wings that we designed for an unmanned aircraft and had Titan build them for us. So I was there to do that. Yeah, I wonder who was there. Man, there's a lot of good-looking Titan tornadoes around. I think we met on Lammy's Hot Rod Wheels. On Lammy's Hot Wheels drag races. Tommy says, why don't you compromise? Just get a kitten. Oh, man. Now, you know what? You know where we got our cats? They're just volunteers. I think we're out in the country. I think somebody just drops them off and kicks them out of the car, and then
they think they're going to
they're looking
farm camp or whatever.
They're looking for food, and they find our garbage or something, and that's when we find them, you know.
And then he feeds them.
And then I get cat food and feed them, and then they become pets for a while, and until something else gets them, I guess. My cat, nope, never said yes to getting any animals. I'm the one that gets to dig the hole. We are on late. We are on our late on dawn. Something there, guys. I'm not sure what she means. Yeah, kittens are fun. We'd have kittens in the shop.
Oh, man.
I don't know. We don't really need any more animals. As it is, I got a big plate outside it's huge. Big old plate. It's heavy. And I put scraps out there. And you know, mostly it's possums that come up there and eat the scraps, which is fine, you know. Tim says, I'm going to sign off. Have to work on getting my videos restored. Oh yeah, you got that?
You had any luck, Tim? What's going on?
He says, good work on the motor, Kim.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
Don't give up, Tim. You got this. Stay with it a little bit. You'll find the stuff you need.
Yeah, Kim, I might buy a laptop.
That's understandable. The one you have is...
If it was here, there'd be 7 cats in it. If it was here.
Shop.
Oh, this shop. They'd have 7 cats in it. I had a cat get in here one time that was our cat. It was before Kim was here, and I struggled to get that cat out of here, and finally did.
I mean, it could have kept
You know how I get the cat out? I close the door and lock the cat in.
Oh yeah, they don't.
And then I hear meow meow meow, and then I open the door and the cat comes shooting back out. It's like, okay. when I can. Getting late for me, it's been a long day. Yeah, it's for you. It's like 20 after midnight. So you're gonna take off.
Yeah, thanks
I don't know.
for
I don't know if we're
stopping
gonna
in.
be here tomorrow night or not. We may be. Don't know. So
What else are we gonna do? We
check
have no
on us
lives.
tomorrow. We might be here.
This is
Well,
our
you're
entire
welcome to
lives.
stop in again.
This is our entire lives. We have nothing else. So you should stop.
Wait till I buy a car, then I'm gonna be. You're gonna be sitting here, and I'm gonna be messing with my new car, which is gonna be an old car. Got some of the videos, but trying to get those movie maker projects I had done, I'll get them. It's just a computer. Yeah, it's like yeah. Well, you're a computer guy. You just gotta. I hate computer problems. That cat magnet. See, I was out in Yuma, and I had, this is '07 maybe, something like that, and I had Windows XP then. And I turned my laptop on, and the whole screen was it was a picture of a biohazard emblem, and the whole screen was a button. So no matter what I did, I couldn't do anything. The only thing I do was push that button, which was going to take me somewhere I didn't want to go. So I didn't know how to fix it. But I had a Linux boot disk, and that laptop had a DVD drive. So I put the boot disk in there and booted on the DVD, and I was able to go in there and clean up the mess. But I spent a weekend, like in a hotel room, Saturday and most of Sunday, fixing that. And I never wanted to have that problem again. But I couldn't have got in it through Windows. What you doing, Kim? Scraping.
Porting.
You're porting with a piece of sandpaper,
Yeah,
razor
this
blade,
is
or
too delicate.
too delicate. No
tools.
raccoons at your big plate. Oh yeah, sometimes there's raccoons. I have actually seen. I had pictures, or I still have pictures. Raccoon and a possum together eating scraps. It's like, huh? Those two guys know each other. Raccoon was much bigger than the possum. I got to be careful with raccoons. Raccoons, they can have diseases. The possums, I didn't know this for years, but their body temperature is about 10 degrees Fahrenheit, cooler than most mammals, and so they don't carry rabies. Rabies won't live, so they're actually a safer animal to be around.
They don't bite.
And they don't bite. They'll show their teeth and everything, but if you take like a welding glove down there and put it in their mouth, they'll just hold their mouth open. Not that I do that, but I've seen people do it. And so I don't know. I don't mind them being there. I hate it when they get in the garbage. That really pisses me off. But
oh, and they love to get in our garbage.
And I can put the garbage somewhere and hide it, put in a can, and some animal surely get into it. So our convenience center's closed on Tuesday and Thursday. So if it's Monday night or Wednesday night, and we got to put something outside, and that some animal's going to get in it. We're going to be cooking on the fire pit some steaks, I think, if the weather holds up. Man, that sounds good. We have a gas grill that Kim got for free. She bought something else at some scratch and dent place, and so we got a gas grill. It's a scratch and dent gas grill, and man, we use it and use it and use it and use it. Best free thing we got,
Around here now is a great time to get a scratch and dent or a used gas grill on Marketplace or something like that. 40, 50 bucks maybe, you can get a really nice grill with the propane tank.
Possums sure are ugly. They're like a big radioactive rat. Although the ones on the West Coast are really ugly. The ones here, they're not as ugly. They're a little different. Some different species, something, I don't know. I got some pictures of them there. They're okay till they open their mouth and show their teeth, and they're kind of ugly looking. And then they saliva all over, and it stinks, and that's how they keep other animals away. But I don't know. I don't mind giving them a little food if they like my scraps. Let them have it. You know? Dirt Road Landing says thank you for the shorts about the V guide bar. You know what? That short, that is the worst short I ever did for views. I think I got, what did I get, like 70 views? Usually I get thousands on shorts, and they just didn't push it out. And it's like the people that know me here watched it.
Something went wrong.
But something went wrong with that. YouTube didn't push it out. It's really sad because I really liked that. I liked that short, and it just didn't go out to anybody, or few people.
You want to make it again? We'll
I may change the title on it like in a week or two and put it up again, and then you all think I'm cheating and put up the same short twice, or I may do that and put up two one day. Put up that one with a different title. I don't know what happened, why that went so wrong, and another new one. I don't know. So you like that V guide bar? Now possums down here are cute. They are. They're cuter on the East Coast than they are on the West Coast. You never knew that guide bar existed. You know where you can get that? I got that one on Amazon. But I don't know if you've ever looked at McMaster Car. But McMaster Car has everything that's machinery. They have nuts, bolts, spring, everything you can think of, and a lot of small tools. And I was looking for something on McMaster Car tonight, and it's funny. There's one of those tools. But that's pretty cool. All it says YouTube shorts have been weird. I think my little feed is stuck on some darn thing or other. Same vid all the time. Yeah, that's something.
You know what?
Something really happens.
They were adding those 3-minute shorts, and I swear nothing's been right since.
They tried to add the three-minute shorts, and they admitted they had problems, and they're struggling with it, trying to make it work. And in the meantime, maybe that's what happened. I don't know.
I think that's what's wrong. Something that's associated with that garbage.
Could you, Kylie? I took out a possum with my left fog light, 90 miles an hour. Oof.
Oh man.
Yeah, I hit a possum one time in California with a Vega. You remember a Chevy Vegas? Those set so low, man, it came out, and I couldn't do anything. And I hit him, and they set so low that I hit the animal with the bottom where the firewall kind of curves into the floor. I felt it hit under there. I felt so bad.
Dirt Road Landing, McMaster Cars is good quality stuff.
Oh yeah, McMaster Car.
Commercial.
And I'll tell you something else about McMaster Car.
But
You order something from McMaster Car, you're gonna have it the next day, unless you're close, and then you're gonna have it the same day. They are amazing, amazing.
Well, when was that?
Well, yeah, before the pandemic, but no,
That's 5 years ago, maybe.
no,
But I mean,
they still do. Then
been very good.
and they got locations all over. Like we got one in Nashville, so Nashville's like we'd have it the next day. When I was in at Titan Aircraft, we were 40 miles from Cleveland. If I ordered something in the morning from McMaster, they delivered it by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was amazing. And everywhere else I've been, even in Yuma, Arizona, where it seems like there's nothing close, always next day I had the stuff from McMaster.
Well, they knew their
And they
customer.
So I mean, they're not a sponsor, but there's good
Just
places
had
to
good
order
luck
stuff.
with them.
There, Amazon, same kind of thing. Usually get stuff the next day, but
Amazon takes 2 or 3 days, but it's not bad.
sometimes.
They usually.
But McMaster, man, nuts, bolts, and stuff, like every different alloy, everything you can think of. And they've got the thing I really like about McMaster's catalog is the explanation of what things are, the alloys, the what strengths of bolts, all this kind of stuff they're really thorough about it. Well, and the other one we talked about the other day was Aircraft Spruce. Aircraft Spruce and Specialty, their catalog, same thing. They've got, of course, it's geared toward aircraft, but they've got explanations of what everything is and material, mechanical properties and everything. It's good stuff. It's a good referral, even if you're not buying something. Kim, whatever that is, it's
Paper.
you got stuff dangling in your hair. So dirt road landing. So I guess you say now, wow. So I don't know what you're looking at, but
I think he likes it.
somebody in the one of the shorts. What was it about? Oh, it was the one with the. It was the one from this morning. Somebody asked what a good drill bit was to use, and I said a carbide tip, and that's why I went into McMaster to see if they had them, and they do. But I bought carbide tip drill bits before, and you got to watch speed, that kind of stuff. But going into a piece of stainless which is tough stuff to drill, lubrication, low speed, lots of pressure, and you won't hurt a carbide tip unless you spin it real fast or something. But I looked at I think it was a 5/16 drill bit, and it was like $27. You can buy a whole set of drill bits for $27, but they're going to be Harbor Freight. Although I use Harbor Freight drill bits for a lot of things. Just watch the speed. Watch the speed. The Road Landing says, oh yeah, I always pick up a new Aircraft Spruce book at Oshkosh. They have mountains of them for free. Yeah, and they have a pretty good website too. And the good thing about Aircraft Spruce now is they got locations all over the country. So if you order something, every once in a while I order something from here. It comes from the West Coast, but usually it comes from their Georgia location, which is very close for us. Although I haven't ordered much from them lately, I'm kind of out of the aircraft thing. But when I'm doing fiberglass work, I'll probably be ordering stuff from them. The other place, if you're into epoxy with, I'm gonna look up here. Epoxy fiberglass, epoxy resins. What is the name of the place in Rhode Island? That's a boat place. Can't think of it. I'll think of it at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, Granger. I used to when I was working for the military as a contractor. For a while, I was the guy buying everything for the test site. I don't know how I got that job, but I was doing that for a while. And we use Granger some, but the thing with Granger is the prices are higher. If you find the same product on Granger and the same product somewhere else, Granger's going to be higher. The thing with Granger is almost always they had everything in stock. So sometimes we needed something, we need it now. Yep, get it from Granger. But you're going to pay a little more. And Granger has a good catalog. Another great place to shop online is Surplus Center. Never done that. I ordered lots of parts for my log splitter build. Really? Surplus Center. Never even knew about them. And I won't remember that. So you know what I'm going to do? Do what I always do. When I want to remember something, what is wrong with this? Oh, I know what's wrong. Wrong camera. I'm looking at myself. That's how I take notes off the screen. Take a picture of it. Yeah, I'll check them out. I will. I'm trying to think if there's anybody I know that has Titan Tornado for sale. I hear about them.
Is there a buy-sell thing in the forums for it?
You know what? There's a Titan aircraft, not a forum, but it's one of these things where you send an email and it sends them out to everybody.
Oh, like a mailing list.
Yeah, it's like a mailing list. Although they have storage for photos and some other things, so you can go into the website and look at all the pictures. So it is kind of like a forum, but it's more like a mailing list. And I think it's Titan Aircraft.io or something. I'm gonna have to. I'll find it, and I'll. Yeah, I can't pull it out of my memory right now. But I know people that are on there, and that's, if there's one for sale, it'll pop up on that list.
Yeah. The other thing is, if you said, "Hey, I'm looking for one," but I don't know.
You got to be careful with home builds, because you get some home builds, and the person that builds it might be just a meticulous craftsman, and you get another one that's, it might be wiring might be bad, or not quite the quality, So you got to be careful with that. There's a single seater that's kind of an early one, and I don't think the guy has built it yet. And that was like, man, it's like probably 30 years old, and I think he's still got it in his living room in the San Diego area. And I've thought about trying to get a hold of him, but man, he might be gone by now. He's older than me, so I don't think he ever built it. I'd love to have that kit. But then I am flying again. I don't really want to be flying again. I'm still winding up Tony's hot rod garage. Oh, he's still on. I didn't want to step all over him.
That's all right.
I thought he was on. I thought he was on for an hour. He's been on quite a while.
I think that's why we don't have as many people here as normal, but that's okay.
Yeah, because we only have 12 people here, but
I didn't. Something different. So
I didn't want to step all over him, but I guess we are.
We're here every night, so people will come in when he's done. And there's no reason to rush.
So Dean says I'll be in. Yesterday, Buff, I sent you a 1986 XF Falcon, the Gore number plate algorithm. I'll have to see what that is. So where'd you send that? To my email? I haven't checked my email in a couple of days.
I haven't checked my emails in weeks.
Well, you know what? Because I use it on Tuesday nights because we bring all the pictures in. Then I forget to check it sometimes during the week, and I said I should. BNR Racing just came from Tony's too. Man, I didn't mean to be...
Hey, welcome to everybody who's coming in from Tony's. Hope you had a great stream. What'd you guys talk about over there?
Yeah, I didn't mean to step all over you guys.
We did not mean to step on them. It was time for us to start it, so we did. But Tony is on. If you haven't seen Tony, he has his right after John Wilburn on Friday nights. Usually starts around 9 o'clock. So you can easily catch an hour over there before you find us. But you could stay there longer and come in after. We're okay with that. But well, yeah, he did. He went for 2.5 hours.
That's what I did, was I came in an hour after him, and I didn't know if he'd be on any longer now, but I knew we were going to be wanting to start up here at 10 o'clock.
You know what? We started late one night for somebody. I'm not going to say who it was because it's not like an offensive thing, but we started late one night for somebody, and then they didn't even come on.
They didn't do their live.
Start when we're ready.
So
if
now
there's somebody else that's going, that's okay. Give everybody a
It's not a biggie. I'll keep.
Or if he's talking about Fords and you like Fords, go over there. We're just working on old Dodge.
BNR Racing. We talked about tunnel port heads. What's the Enye for tunnel
port heads? What kind of engine?
But he said
port for what?
Well, tunnel ports are those are FEs. They're big block Fords, 427 tunnel ports. And that's the one, remember I showed you one that has a push rod going right through the middle of the big round ports like this.
Oh.
Remember that? I
Wait
showed
a
you a
minute.
set of those
Wait a minute.
heads.
There's a push rod tube through it?
Yeah, remember I showed you that. I showed you that. I'm sure you remember that head I showed you that had that.
Yeah.
That had that. Yeah. We just chatted about anything. Yeah, the tunnel ports. That's quite a thing. And Pennsylvanian Facebook buddies talked about Chrysler 392 426 Hemi. See, I think I'm gonna, if I ever get paid for my car, which they promised me money.
Next week you'll get money.
They keep promising me money. I'll probably have a Ford around again. I really want to get a Fox body Ford. I've got like several of them kind of, probably end up with one of them. But then I'll have a Ford again. And I'll probably just drive it the way it is for a while, but then when we get finished some of the other projects, maybe I'll build an engine for it, you know. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Man, can you imagine a tunnel port 427 in a Fairmont? Oh man. No, that's the wrong engine for it. You know what's the right engine for that?
No.
It's like a 302 or a 351 Windsor or a Cleaver. But no, that's big money stuff.
You'd have to have somebody like Dallas Brown build it for you, and that would cost some money.
I could build it. And I know how all that goes. It's just, you know, starts getting into money. You know, you got to buy this stuff.
Yeah.
You don't just go get it, you know.
Nope.
TP on Pontiac Stage 5. Man. Oh, the tunnel port head on Pontiacs, I see. You remember have you ever seen the tunnel port 427 Ford? The FE tunnel ports? It's enormous ports. With a push rod tube running through them. Kim's over here hugging her head.
Hugging the cylinder.
Hugging the cylinder head.
I'm lapping valves by hand without a valve lapping tool or any special garbage. I don't need it. This is good.
BNR Racing, when I was T-boned in my 99 Chevy Tahoe about fall of 21, it took 7 months to get paid. Oh man, for the vehicle. Well, we've agreed on an amount. I should have money here.
And they've accepted fault.
Oh, they accepted fault the first day.
I mean, it's just paperwork. It's long,
Yep.
but it's.
They looked at the accident report and the witness statements, and they said, she says to me, she goes, well, we're going to accept the responsibility for this. I thought, okay, good. It was almost funny because I didn't want to laugh at her, but it was like, I knew what the witness statements were and everything, and I'm like, yeah, this guy assaulted me. That's what a jerk. So I've gone through most of my life without any serious crashes until this one. This was quite a ride. It's like something I'll never forget. Was all this?
I wish I had it on video.
That was one of the first things I said. One of the first things I said to Kim was, "Did you get it on video?"
Of course not. We don't have anything.
We're just driving down the road. She's behind me. I'm in front of her. You know, and it's like, who's thinking about doing a video when you're going down the interstate? You know, some distance apart.
There are people who hook up dash cams and just let it
I wish we would have had a dash cam because I could have watched it from the outside. You got to watch it from the outside. I watched it from the inside. All I could see was, I couldn't see out the windows. All I could see was dust and dirt and crashing and broken windows and more dust, rocks this big and all this. And it just went on and on and on and on. I think, are we ever going to stop? Finally stopped. I knew I was going backwards. I thought I was kind of going backwards and sideways, you know, leading with the passenger side. Because that's where a lot of the crashing was. But that was that cable that was holding me from going into the oncoming lanes is what all that crashing was on that side. So when everything came to a stop, I was looking backwards. And all I could see is like 2 miles of interstate highway with cars all stopped. Like, oh no, I hate getting in one of those things. No, I'm the one causing it, or he was.
Yeah, he was.
Whole interstate was stopped for
We just caught in it
miles.
a lot closer to the beginning. Boy, having the right tools for this would have made this a lot quicker.
Well, Kim, yeah, no, sorry.
Well, you know.
I mean, you could use a piece of tubing like Wendy suggested and use a
no,
battery
I mean,
drill.
Not lapping, but facing tool.
Brawler 1997, welcome.
Welcome to the stream, bro.
Sup, guys? Installed exhaust cutouts today, and I'm scaring everyone for Halloween.
Nice!
Hey, what are we doing for Halloween? We gonna hang decorations in here? Oh, we've got orange. We've got an orange engine. Yeah. There's a Halloween colored engine.
We'll paint pumpkin eyes on the motor. Pumpkin eyes on the motor.
Are the pits coming out of the valve seats, Kim?
Yes. Yes, they are.
They're
one...
You know, I had to use this and take my glasses off so I could see up close and get a lot of lights on. And it's like, pits? Yeah, maybe.
The surface, well, no,
you know,
I hit that one again
like,
and it's better.
It's more like a surface that isn't
so the thing of it
quite
is,
as nice as I like.
If I keep going and going and going, what's going to happen is they're going to be recessed too far down in, and that's not good.
We're going to save the head.
This head is not that bad. It will run really good, but it really should have hardened seats put in it, because the hardness of the seat is gone. It's cut out of it from the last time they did this head. I'm putting new valves in it, so it'll have brand new fresh valves. So that will help because cut valves get hot quicker. But it's going to burn the seats in 10 to 15,000 miles, depending on how hard I run it, what gas grade I put in it. If I use lead substitute, it might last a little longer, but it's not going to last like it should. But it'll run really good for a little while.
And then
which
you're
is
going to
fine
have
for me.
And you're going to have the other head done.
And the other, while I'm running it and enjoying it, yeah, we're going to send the other head out and have hardened valve seats put in it, and the other head needs new guides. This one already has guides. That's just the way she goes.
Can you read what Brawler wrote? Cause
Not from here, but I'll read it. How you doing, Brawler? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here.
second one up from the bottom.
I'm addressed as Michael Myers and blast loud music in my charger. Michael Myers is that horror movie character that has the chainsaw and wears the hockey mask.
See, I didn't know who that was.
That's
okay.
Michael Myers.
That's why I wanted you to read it.
There's like 13 or 14 or 15 Michael Myers movies. That guy comes up out of the lake and stalks teenagers. Horny teenagers especially. You don't want to dig into the valve faces lapping too long. Yeah, I understand B&R.
She's just,
I'm lapping by hand a little bit.
She's doing this by hand, just cleaning them up a little bit.
But yeah, I could tell the previous person who lapped them dug into, they burn after a while. And these ones have been burned and lapped, and they've been burned, and I'm going to lap them back in again, and then the head's going to need to go out and have hardened seats put in it. But not before. I'm not going to wait for this to come back from the machine shop. I'm going to get the other one done, then swap them out some other time. Because this car is not going to sit here in pieces all winter. I refuse. It's got to go back together in the next couple weeks because we have other stuff to do. You guys are not going to watch us build a Slant 6 Dart all winter. You're going to get bored and go somewhere else. So we got to finish it so we can move on to other things.
I was looking to see when's Halloween, next Thursday or Friday.
Maybe somebody will. Maybe B&R or Brawler. Maybe they will. Maybe even Deed Stevenson will come back all winter and just chat with us. But most people are not that loyal.
Watch us lap valves for 6 months.
Watch us build a Slant 6 for. That's what we did. That's the other thing is when we did his car.
We did the Valiant. We did video after video after video of putting that car together, and it's too many on Too many videos on the same car.
That car was worse because that car didn't look as nice, and because that car was all unknown. We just had a horde of parts. We had all the parts, but they all came from different sources.
Says here, Redline Oil, Summit Racing sells probably great web substitute additive. I've used a lot in the past, Kim.
Yeah, will it help even though the induction hardened part of the seat is mostly cut out of here? I can tell by how they're lapping that there's not much hardness in these seats. They lap real easy. They're soft. Which is good. They'll seal great until they burn.
Tommy says, yep, I've seen seats where people have kept grinding. That will pocket the seats.
Yeah, they're already recessed into pockets, and I had to machine that out. I could show you a little bit, but I can't really lift this too easy. But yeah, I had to take that pocket out. So there's a real... It's still going to run damn good. I unshrouded the valves. I did head work and stuff on it. And I'm going to show... I have a video of that, and I was busy editing the video that we just put up on his channel. I'll have the video of the porting on my channel.
You're going to do that on your channel? Okay, good.
Yeah, in a day or two. Yeah, because he's not really even in it. I don't like to put up videos on his channel where it's only me. That seems weird.
BNR says, yes, Kim, Redline lead additive substitute is fantastic.
That's great. I did not know that. It's not terribly expensive. You just have to remember to add it all the time. I'll just get a couple and I'll always put it in a few. I mean, it's kind of worth it.
Dirt Road Landing, thank you.
Yeah, pizza fun.
Super chat. Oh, pizza fun.
Salad? Does it have to be pizza, Dirt Road Landing?
Here's what, you know what, I've been watching videos.
Okay.
Because I really like pizza, but I can't eat it because it's got, bread. You know, it's all this bread.
Sugar, carbs, all the things.
There's a woman on there, I was watching her make pizza without bread. She does it in a pan, and she shows all these layers and everything, and cooks it, and then she flips the pan over when it's done. So it looks like a pizza. There's no crust on it. And it's like, man, does that look good? Because I've scraped stuff off pizzas before and, you know, throw the crust outside for the birds. But I don't really want to do that. But, yeah, I'm about to make a pizza without bread in the pan. I got to buy the groceries to do that.
What do they use as the base?
The pan.
Fried cheese or something?
Yeah,
use it for anything you want. I'll use it for some lead additive.
Can't eat lead additive.
Thank you, Dirt Road Landing. We enjoy you telling us about your
yeah, you run
your dream to run. Yeah, that's cool.
Quarter mile. It's 14. No, 13. What is it though? I used to know that right off. It's about 1,400 feet.
I should know. My brain is gone.
So, I used to operate off a 1,400-foot runway, and with a Titan Tornado, and it was fine. But field elevation was about 2,000 feet, so the density altitude was up a little bit, but it was okay. Yeah, cauliflower crust pizza is fantastic. I've heard that too.
Well,
and I don't know if I'm going to do that.
Sometimes the commercially made stuff already has a bunch of sugar in the sauce and stuff like that. So we have to read the labels because he has to take care of his diabetes.
Well, there's
But thank you. Yes, cauliflower crust pizza is a nice substitute for wheat.
There's sauce you can get that's like zero carb sauce.
Absolutely. So, yeah, they don't have to.
So I'll get that. Who's the guy I like all his products? I don't know if he has pizza sauce.
G. Hughes.
G. Hughes. His name is because I looked up all about this guy. He's got a picture of his face on his salad dressing. I go, and it's all zero carbs. So anybody that puts their picture of themselves on their product, that's got to be something good. I mean,
he likes it.
They're promoting something with their own picture on it.
He's finicky, and he's tried it all. So there's the thing.
I tried it, and it was really good. So then I got online and read about the guy, and he needed to have zero carb stuff, so he started making stuff, and sold it locally, and then he decided to make a business out of it. So his name is G. Hughes. It's like Howard Hughes, only the guy before him, instead of H. Hughes, it's G. Hughes. But his name is Guy Hughes, and he's been doing this for years now, but I didn't know about it till this year. So anytime I see G. Hughes product, man, I'm on top of that. It's like Okay, we got some marinade for something. What was it for? Some kind of meat marinade? It was G Hughes, but mostly it's salad dressing I buy. So,
Oh yeah, did
and
you
his stuff's good. There's nothing he has that's bad. You know,
salad
it's like,
dressing stream, folks?
you know what I'm.
Lyle Tools makes a nice valve lapping stick for $7. I know. And if I had,
Yep.
I should have just bought one.
In places like Napa.
It's
Yeah,
just a
Napa.
suction cup stuck to the end of the stick. I know exactly the tool you mean, BNR. I'm sorry. I'm doing this the dumb way.
It's because we're sitting here online and we're talking and she's doing that.
Well, the thing of it
and we
is
don't no stores open. She doesn't have it in her hand.
I can't use power tools during this stream because it messes it up. So, like, I'm struggling to have things to do that aren't noisy, and I didn't prepare enough to have my lapping. But lapping is like on the next on the agenda, so I wasn't prepared.
So you know what's really nice tonight? You're sitting over here where everybody can see you, and
Yeah, and I
you're
can read
joining
the
in
chat.
on this. And yeah, you're working, but you're probably
I'm not
not working as
overheated.
efficiently as you could be. But you're getting the
Yeah,
job
yeah.
done, and it's fine.
Being very meticulous.
So I don't know where I was going with this guy. It's just products are freaking good, so I buy them. You're gonna have a running engine pretty soon.
This engine's gonna run good now because it'll have good compression on all 6, and then this port job. I'm proud of this port job. I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna get the camera out and show them this port job. I'm proud of it. I don't know if anybody will be able to really appreciate what this is like on a Slant 6 without the video, but I'm proud of it.
You know, John Cope is scaring the crap out of me tonight.
Why's that?
Because he's talking about the, exploding
Oh,
Sprague.
transmission explosions. Yeah.
And he said, you can do that with a Slant 6 if it's already cracked and you don't know it's cracked. All you need is like 4,500 RPM. And he goes, that thing's going to explode because it's turning at like 2.2 times the speed.
Yeah.
And he goes, Tommy Hannes, I put a piece of tubing on the stem and use a drill. Graduated. Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. Wendy, I think, was in here, said that. She's not doing it.
I'm doing so little, I have to keep pulling it off, sticking it back on. I'd have to keep getting up. This, at least, I can just sit in the chair and just do it.
She's enjoying
Thank
what
you,
she's
though.
doing.
I appreciate the suggestions. And yeah.
The other thing happens is she's sitting here and running power tools. I can't talk.
Yeah.
And it just overwhelms the microphone. And it's Friday night. We're just kind of
If I had to do heavier stuff, but I'm just doing a little refinish here on them, and they're coming out. I'm almost done. If it was like it was going to be a lot of it, I would just give up and do it on a different moment. I'd work on something else, but it's going well.
Is this the one we pulled the stud? No, this isn't the one we pulled the stud.
No, that's the
yeah.
one down there. That one's the junky one. That one's going to the machine shop.
That's going to the machine shop.
Here you go. The imperfections come out of this. All these all these exhaust seats are ready to, they're good. Oh yeah. Those are the best seats I've ever put into Slant 6. I've messed around with some cylinder heads before, and they were always, Oh,
Well, you did the one for my Valiant, came out pretty good.
You know what? Yeah, it was in nice shape to begin with. But this is better.
That's a good running engine.
Oh yeah, that motor runs good. And it's gapped for turbo.
Oh, the reason I was bringing up John Cope is because you've talked about putting an automatic in this.
Yeah.
So
I
think about that stuff,
I was thinking about that. Remember I ran outside during that live, and I didn't say why. I just said I'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So, we've talked about this car. I think I'm going to put an automatic transmission in it, right? Instead of putting the manual transmission back in, because we have some suspect parts. The flywheel is kind of needs surfaced. The pressure plate is kind of it needs surfaced. And then the throwout bearing, we're into several $100s to get everything surfaced and ready to go. And then we still only just have a 3 on the tree. Well, I have a 904 automatic, an old one that has a Slant 6 bell housing. It came with a motor that we had that had a running problem. That motor did not run right. And the transmission has obviously been very well professionally, that transmission has been professionally cleaned, and the car was they drove it to the shop to have the engine swapped out for a 318. And since the bell housings don't swap on 904 transmissions, they just use the other transmission. So I got the transmission with the engine. I believe it to be a good 904. But every time I think about performance, what are the limiting things on, I'd really like to get a torque converter for the 904, something that's a little hotter than, I don't know what what's the stall on a stock Slant 6 torque converter. I'd like to get it like a race torque converter, but one that is stall rated for the 150 horsepower that a Slant 6 can make reasonably. Because a lot of times the mistake that people make is they buy a stall converter, but it's rated for a Chevy 350, which is, 250, 300 horsepower. So the stall is rated for that amount of horsepower, so when they put it behind a Slant 6, it still stalls like a stock torque converter. It's going to be expensive, but the car will be really hot on the street because the torque multiplication it'll be fun. Now, it'll rev higher on the highway.
Well, and you got lower gears in it too, so it'll be...
But it's miles per gallon.
Miles per gallon.
It's the kind of thing that impresses people.
B&R says the valve guides and seats are good still. Yeah, this has bronze guides in it, and they are really nice.
Yeah, it's got fresh guides in it. They're tight. Actually, this number 2 might need a little bit of polish because it's so tight.
No Name National is supposed to have a manual transmission class in 2025. Really?
That's fine, but you know what? That 1-2 shift on the column, I just can't see me going anywhere like that. Like, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. Like, it's just such a long shift. I can't see me doing anything interesting with that 3 on the tree. Like, I wanted to get a 5-speed for this car, but, like, it's all kind of funny stuff. Like, I looked at it, and it's like, we don't have time for me to even figure it out. Like, I thought I could take the one out of the Dakota, and then I found out that the pilot shaft on the Dakota 5-speed is an inch too short. And they have all kind of like, well, you can make it work by doing this, that, and the other thing. Like, it's an inch too short. It's going to be trouble. I got to figure that out. Like, I don't have no. I've got an automatic. I got an automatic, And I think I could put a 2,800 RPM stall. If it's properly rated, it'll probably have to be a 9.5-inch converter to get the right stall behind a Slant 6. Which would be, for like a 360, it would be a full race converter, but the Slant 6 would stall out. But you have to really talk to somebody about what's going to work. So I'm going to need to talk to either John Cope or Professor P.
Or John Wilburn's pretty good with this stuff,
But
too.
John Wilburn doesn't retail torque converters.
Oh, no, yeah, okay. Yeah.
I got to talk to one of these. I got to make a decision. And I hate to have to do that because they're both great people to work with. Now, Professor P does a lot of work with Slant 6s. I'm pretty sure he spec'd out the torque converter that's in Plan Z that Uncle Tony had, and then...
It's a pretty radical engine, though, compared to this.
But he knows Slant 6s really well, and if I tell him what I want...
Yeah, Cope will know, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, do you know Professor P?
Shane
Polito? Shane Polito's, yeah, he's an engineer at Edelbrock and he's designed a lot of that stuff. So
what was John Cope saying about being a one-man show?
He was working by himself. I don't know. He was working by himself for a few days, I guess, and he said he liked it. I can understand that. He goes, he doesn't like being a boss. He likes to work with a bunch of people that just get stuff done, and he doesn't have to be a boss. Doesn't have to be telling them what to do, you know, and I understand that.
Yep. Yeah.
When I had a shop, I worked by myself a lot, but then I had employees a lot, and it was, I don't know, when I'm doing my own work, you know what happened? I didn't have any comebacks. As soon as I have employees, sometimes I'd have comebacks because something gets screwed up, you know, and I don't know. The more of a boss you are, the less you got your fingers in the work. I don't know.
Oh.
And then I had some employees that really were good, and I had some that were, you know, I had to pay attention to them more, you know. Anyway, go ahead.
So the reason I came outside, I got way off topic. I apologize, everyone. The reason I came outside was to look, because I was looking at aftermarket torque converters for 904s. And they all run on a 27 spline input shaft, non-lockup converters.
Dean was thinking.
Dean was thinking.
Go ahead.
Look out. Careful, everyone. Dean's been thinking!
So go ahead about this, your splines.
So, the torque converter that I have that was attached to the motor that I'm going to use has 18 splines, not 27 splines. But the torque converter in the small block 904 that's outside, sitting outside, is 27 spline. This one here is a lockup spline converter, so it won't work. So of the three that I have, they're all different, and the one that I have that's a 27 spline is a bigger shaft. But if you take out the pump and take off the front drum and stuff like that, it swaps over for sure. I have to confirm that with somebody. More research, lots of stuff.
That's something John Cope will know everything.
John Cope would know that, and I hate to ask John Cope questions and then not buy things from him.
You can buy a kit from him, and like Dr. Go did. Dr. Go's gonna put in his own kit. I think he's a little concerned with that. If John Cope wants him to do it, just do it and video it. And they were really encouraging him to do that because they said, you know, you're not a transmission guy, you're just a guy, and get in there and do it and show that anybody can do this. And,
I don't know if anybody can.
And you can do it from underneath the car. Well, it's a kit that makes it shift better.
Yeah. Shift improver kit.
It's a shift
different spring kit and stuff like that.
Yeah, drill a hole in different springs and leave stuff out, put stuff in. You know. Are you using an aftermarket performance cam?
Nope. If you get...
There's a whole thing about Slant 6s there.
The Slant 6 is really limited. You get a performance cam, and you just move the torque band up.
Tom Brown.
It'll add some horsepower.
Welcome to the chat.
I have to make choices, though.
I used to run a 65 Chevy C10 truck, 377 gears, 430 horsepower small block with a 3 on the tree with the first gear removed, like a manual power glide of sorts. Just one shift straight down. Worked good. Really?
1, 2.
I've never heard that before.
Well, you know what? That would have had a granny low first gear anyways.
No, it's a 3-speed on the column. The granny lows are 4-speeds that are first gears.
Oh, really?
You never use it, you know, unless you're pulling a stump out or something. But, yeah, 3 on the tree.
With 430 horsepower, you wouldn't need a first gear, and that's 3-speed. And with 377 gears, yeah.
That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I never even thought about doing that.
I guess I could set this up manual valve body, or not manual valve body. I could run. Oh man, this thing was such a slug. You know what else though? This clutch would slip because there's massive oil leak.
Oh, the way it was, yeah.
Tommy Hanlon says, "Does anybody else smell burning wiring?" I heard Dean was thinking, but no panic. Dean, be careful. If you smell smoke, stop with the thinking.
So, Dean, metric, 10 times the initial. Okay, we're going to go on to one of these things. 19 famous scientific people to blame. 19 units. Time. Oh my God, here we go. Like 19 trillion things that can go wrong in every country bar USA, Liberia, and Myanmar.
I don't know, maybe.
What's he thinking? What's he thinking?
I don't know. Don't worry us too much now.
My throat's bothering me a bit. You just put clover on it, and your clover is roasted, Tommy. Clover. We have clover all over the yard. You ever notice that?
No. Didn't notice.
Especially over by the house. So we planted clover all over because when we had bees, the bees liked the clover. And that's why a lot of the lawn over there is clover. Which I don't mind because it mows easy. Tommy Hanlon, stop thinking. It's making my brain hurt, Dean. Oh, what do you got there? What is that? What is that liquid?
Rubbing alcohol?
Ah. I wonder what this. It smelled like something I didn't know what it was.
It smells like rubbing alcohol.
Rubbing alcohol.
You know why?
It's not rubbing alcohol.
Just making sure the dirt.
Where'd you get rubbing alcohol?
Oh, it's not rubbing alcohol. It's
What?
the glass cleaning alcohol.
There's two alcohols we have here. One is
It's the
denatured alcohol, and the other is the 99.9% isopropyl, which is really expensive.
Yeah, no, you told me not to use that. I don't need it anyways.
Leaks blaming the Welsh again. I used Cummins diesel turbocharger. Will get lots of air in. What Pontiac V8 guys did in the 1990s, homebrewed, dirt cheap. Well, we've got a turbocharger here that's new, and she may use it, but may not. It was supposed to go on my Valiant, but it may end up on this car.
We gotta get this car back together though before we decide to fit the turbocharger. But the thing of it is crazy stuff like everything will be fresh. It's a lot easier to work on when everything's not all rusted and dirty and messed up. All these studs are getting replaced. That'll come all apart real easy. Like when we took the water neck housing off of that thing, it just snapped the bolts off. That's no good. So this will all be fresh and be workable, serviceable again. You know, that's a big part of being able to performance mod a car is being able to work on it. Everything ends up taking 10 times as long when the car is in garbage condition to start with. So we have it ready, like it was already a driver before we tore it down, so it's going to go back together way easier than that Valiant. That Valiant had been apart. It was a basket case. Basket case is miserable.
Oh, you handed me this. For a project.
I did.
But I didn't understand what it was. Now I see it's got 4 conductor, 2 twisted pairs.
Yeah.
So this would work.
Yeah.
This would probably work well. Yeah, okay, don't say any more about it. But that...
You could have a common power and multiple grounds. Right?
It could be done several different ways,
Okay,
yeah. But yeah, that's an adequate thing.
Yeah, just for... Okay, don't say anything about it. Got it.
No, it's because it's something, it's a project. You know, if you announce the project you're doing, then you have to do it in a reasonable amount of time. And right now I can look at it and go, if I get it done now, or I could get it done a month from now, and nobody's going to be upset with me.
Nobody will be upset with me. Because they don't even know what they're missing.
You have a parts cleaner there. Yeah, Kim's a parts cleaner.
I'm the parts cleaner. Kim's the
She has a pressure washer, and no, we don't have a parts cleaner.
No, I thought about taking this up and getting it.
Oh, we do. She has an ultrasonic cleaner.
We have a little one, yeah. Why? What are they suggesting I do with it?
Well, Mike N said our ultrasonic cleaner's worth it. I have a friend out in California, and he has all like old 50s cars. He used to have a couple of 60 cars. Most of what he has now is late 40s and 50s cars. And when you take stuff apart,
Darn it.
you break the bolt.
No.
All the nuts and bolts and hardware and everything, he runs it through his ultrasonic cleaner, and they all come out really nice. And a lot of times body bolts, like my Studebaker, has a funny thread on it that you can't buy those bolts. So and the nuts are welded, blind nuts welded back behind somewhere. So you have to use that thread. And I talked to him about how to get those bolts so they look good. He goes, just get an ultrasonic cleaner. And I think he's running the stuff that we're using, Simple Green in it, and in his ultrasonic cleaner. He says, oh, it works so well.
For tiny parts or things with lots of details, it really gets in the cracks and crevices better than you can easily with. And you can just put it in there and leave it. You'll eventually get to it. It's like putting dishes in a dishwasher. It may not clean well, but it's a lot less work than doing it yourself.
One guy I remember used plumbing PCV tubing, or it would be PVC tubing, for his turbocharger discharge tubing. Purple glued it, and it worked.
Discharge for the exhaust?
Couldn't have been for the exhaust.
Yeah, for the intake tubing? I mean, it would work up to, that stuff's rated at 100 PSI.
I think he means for the pressurized part that goes
it's rated
to the
for
intake.
100 PSI.
A common power, like a 10 by 12 step method. Always talking about what you're saying for this wiring, that nobody knows what I'm going to do with it. Another wiring project. Man, I want to put up a 400 meter wire antenna along the tree line.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, and I'm going to need help with that, Kim, because it's probably take a couple of insulators and 400 meters pretty long wire antenna.
Really long. Is it better higher?
Of course it's better higher. Of course it's better higher, but I think we can do it not that high, and I think it'll work well. And there's some ratios with how far off the ground for the length and all that, but I think that you and I will be able to do it. That is a long antenna.
Yeah. Where are you going to get all that wire?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was looking at this wire. Where am I going to get all that wire? And there's people that talk about using coated aluminum wire, and there's people that talk about using everything else, and I'm like, man, I could just use stainless safety wire, but I don't know how that would work for an antenna. I don't know. I'll have to... gonna need a balance. Yeah, I'm not gonna transmit on it. No, it's just a long wire. Oh, what do they call that? What do they call that kind of antenna? I can't think of what that's called. No, it's for, I'll tell you what it's for. It's for the, what we call the AM band in the US, and then below that, which is the long wave, just a receive antenna. Dump tube. No, the 11 meter, I've got an antenna.
Dump tube a turbocharging terminology?
Maybe. I've got a 11 meter antenna that's on a pole that we're going to put up on the side of the house. It's just another projects are. You got all these projects lined up, and right where that pole goes, there's a big old patch of poison ivy. So I've been kind of putting it off because it's
dangerous.
Because it's summertime. But when that stuff dries out and we can get it out of there, we're going to put that pole up on the end of the house and run the coax inside for my 11 meter. And end fed long wire for the receive antenna. Everyone means 13-20 feet. What does it work? What's 400 meters work out to? I'm using somebody else's plans, Dean, and he says to run 400 meters. I don't have my converter handy with me. I'd have to do the math. But I have measuring tools that are metric and SAE. I don't need to convert it. I'll just measure it with the metric tools, tape, big long tape. Everybody gives the Americans a hard time about not knowing metric, but then These American guys who don't use SAE. Well, you know what? 1977, General Motors, all their body bolts became metric, and anything new they were doing became metric. And by about 1985, all the legacy components were metric. So really, I mean, the 2025 cars are out for 40 years now. American cars have been metric, and I still get a bunch of grief from friends in Europe that tell me I don't know how to use metric. It's like the only thing we do that's not metric are the old cars, Or Michael, it only need to be quarter wave. Well, yeah, it's not going to be quarter wave because of the well, I'm looking at the 150 kilohertz. What's that? What's quarter wave with 150 kilohertz? 150 to about 500 kilohertz. Just a big old long wire. Yeah, 1320 is 402 meters. Okay. So you're saying half wave. Half wave for. Don't tell everyone. Don't tell everyone. So it's the length of a drag strip. There are only two kinds of people: those who use metric and those who have gone to the moon. Someone sent that meme to me the other day. Well, what I used to say was the some Europeans I was working with, this was many years ago, giving me a bunch of crap about metric and all this stuff. So I said, you know why the distance between these guys are in England. I said, you know why the distance between the Earth and the Moon is measured in miles? And they just kind of looked at me. I said, because we went there and we measured it. and some of them laughed. But I think actually, I think now it's the measurements all in meters. 3.280839 is how many feet are in a meter. All I know is it's somewhere around 39 inches. I don't know. I just I got a tape for either one, so the guy that designed the antenna, that he's having very good luck with, gave me dimensions in meters, so I was just going to do that. Oh yeah, but that was GM. No one listens to them. Feet in 2 meter. Oh, what's that? Feet in 2 meter. Deleted it. So I want to try to listen to some of the long wave stuff that this guy was doing, and maybe some of the lower part of medium wave, which is what they call what we in the U.S. call AM radio band. Most of the world they call that medium wave. 468 megahertz. Oh yeah, that's another weird one. We use metric in the race engine world always. Cubic centimeters or cc's of the combustion chambers, yeah. We could convert to cubic inches, but never do, yeah. The only thing I like to use cubic inches with are engines that were designed in cubic inches, like the Slant 6. You go in a parts store and they try to convert it into liters or something, and the catalogs are now in liters, and it's like, man, I don't know, it's a 225, because that's what it was, And, I don't want to hear that it's a 3 point, whatever the hell it is. But any engine that's after that, or European or Japanese, of course, it's in cc's or it's in liters. Just whatever it was when it was made. Yeah, Mike said medium wave, yeah. That was a metric foot. 468 divided by the resonant frequency. Or do you think that was for a half wavelength? Man, I gotta take a test here pretty soon, and I gotta remember this stuff. I don't like to miss questions on tests. Vintage muscle cars all use metric spark plug threads. 14 millimeter or 18 millimeter? Oh, it could be. One of those 19 troublemaking guys. Hurts. It hurts.
Make sure your pilot holes are clean.
Are you gonna run a tap down through all the bolt holes that have threads in them? Man, look at that. That looks pretty nice, doesn't it? I was thinking like these. Just run a. Yeah. I mean, I've got taps. I mean, we could do that just to make sure they're clean.
Be nice, because they are kind of crummy.
3.687 liters. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Do you have any taps that are? Do you have Metch and?
Kim is playing the head like a jug. remember the old in the South.
Gotta tune a little bit. Gotta tune that head a little bit. That might be demonetizable content right there.
Because of Robert L. Bosch. Raining Slant 6 with a chance of cannonballs. Welcome to the chat.
Welcome to chat. Hello.
Hey, Buff and Kim, I suppose you folks have probably had experience with port matching some cylinder heads on more common V8 engines to either, intake manifolds or exhaust manifolds or headers. Are you going to lap the valves? Yeah, I think she just finished that.
Just lapped all the exhaust valves.
Port matching. Actually,
I'm not.
Was it this one that looked pretty good? It looked like somebody had done it.
No, it just doesn't need it. So Slant 6's the ports kind of match. Like, if you, matching is not the same as making a big V, right? If they already match and you V them out and you V the intake port in, then there's just like this big whoop, and that's obviously just wasted effort. But I mean, if the ports are different, then yeah. Port mismatch, so the intake is smaller than the gasket face at the head. Okay, so the gasket face is one thing, right? But the actual intake and the actual head, if you just disregard the gasket and line them up, they're the same. And then the gasket is bigger. So if you do that thing with the paint on a Slant 6, if you do that thing with the paint, you're just doing a lot of grinding, but you're not really gaining anything because it gets bigger and then it gets smaller right away. But obviously, if you had an application where they weren't machined real well or they weren't cast very well to match up, but these do match up. So you don't have to do a lot of port matching on the Slant 6. You got to know that what kind of head you're working on to know if it's worth the time. And I might do a little matching on the exhaust manifold, because I think if there's any place where it doesn't match real well, that's where it is. I should come over there.
Can you hear her? Yeah, well, it's showing up on the mic, but I don't know if they can understand you.
I think the exhaust manifold. Is there a set of tap and die in here?
Yeah, there's 2 sets of them in there. They're in flat boxes.
Tap wrench. Oh, that's a wrench.
Oh, well, there's that stuff too. You just got to be careful, because if you open them, they spill really easy, and then you got a big mess.
Okay, so if there's any place on a Slant 6 where I would really keep my eye open for a port mismatch, it would be on the exhaust manifold. You probably want to flare these just a little bit so that the exhaust doesn't hit an edge right here. The rest of it, though, is pretty close. Boy, they all got really quiet. I'm sorry. I ruined the chat. They were like, we have an idea for you. And I was like, no. You hurt our feelings. Sorry. I'm sorry. I had a 318 head. I had the head for a 318 on the bench last night, and I took the valves out, and I was looking at it, and I could see where that 318 head probably stands to do a whole lot of port matching. A whole lot. Slant 6, it's different. They're just like rectangular ports, and they're...
And there's another engine I got to do. My 318. I've got a 318 poly I want to do.
Oh, you're bragging now. You got a 318 poly.
It's a nice engine, too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
The guy that comes in here a lot Burns, I got that engine from him.
Man, we ought to build that 318 poly. It's cool. That's a cool engine.
What are we going to put it in?
Anything.
Anything.
Everything. We should put it in all the things because it's so cool.
I don't know. We don't have an extra Mopar right now.
I got
put it in the Vox body when I get it. Oh, but a 318 poly in there. What's that doing in there? No, that's not the right car. I've thought about it, the Valiant, but I've got a real nice Slant 6 in it, you know. And it was never in those Valiants, and it's kind of wide, but you could probably still do it.
Oh, that's right. I don't know if you can put a poly in an A body.
Well,
we need a bigger
they never did it, but you know the 67 and later were wider.
Well, when I put a 440 in there,
and they did put 440s in them. You know, I'm sure you could put a.
I mean, with a cutting torch and enough enthusiasm, anybody can do pretty much.
Did they also put Hemis, or some people put Hemis in them? Yeah, everybody got quiet.
I guess, I wonder, did we go down, or are they just...
Yeah, I don't know. We maybe lost...
kibosh on their whole plan.
You put a kibosh in everybody's plans here.
I was like, no, I know more about it than you.
Raining Slant 6 says the intake face is on opposite side of the head from where the exhaust face is. Okay, Kim, think about this. The intake face is on the opposite side of the head from where the exhaust face is.
Right.
But the SL6, which I guess the Slant 6 says intake and exhaust are on the same side of the head. So most people see how the two manifolds vertical.
I don't know what he means by how they vertical.
I don't know. VNR Poly 318 and a D100 pickup.
Oh,
you have those pickups.
I have some pickups, but they're not. They're the modern Ram. You know what though? That white Ram, it's a full size pickup, and it has a bad motor and a bad transmission.
I don't want to do that.
No, okay. You want it in something cool, not a truck.
Yeah, I'm not into trucks that much.
You know,
a truck. That's what I have my van for. And if I start needing a truck again, I'll put the insurance back on the van and I'll drive that again. Because that van...
The green truck has a good Magnum engine in it.
That van is a big extendo Ford van, so it's got 12 feet. It's like a 12-foot bed. I could put big, long stuff in there. And it's inside, so if it's terrible weather, nothing gets hurt, you know. And so... And it's a 3/4 ton van, so I can pull a trailer.
Why is this not cut?
I don't know. It looks like it's the wrong size. How could it be?
It's not. Poly 318 and a D100 pickup. We'd have to get a D100 pickup. Would be a good place for it, though. There's plenty of room for Poly in those pickups. I got it. Thank you.
Well, I was going to get this before it runs down the side of the clean head you got there.
Intake face is on the opposite side of the head from where the exhaust face is.
Well, that's on a V engine, yeah, because the intake's it's a cross-flow head, and this is not a cross-flow head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a major shortcoming of a Slant 6 head, is it's all lined up like this. The long manifolds crack. The flow is mediocre.
Oh, we gotta buy some tubing. I forgot.
Tubing? What for?
For that manifold you just had in your hand. Remember we're gonna make something out of those.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that before we get this motor together, though. I don't want to.
You're gonna put just a standard exhaust manifold on it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can't hold this project up that long.
Yeah, this
I thought about it.
project was supposed to take a day or two, and it's been taking a month.
I knew it was going to take more than a day or two.
We're a month. We're a
but
month.
you were in shock from
we're
your
in a-
accident, and I decided to.
We're a month and 3 days into it. Okay, pickups are great for towing and hauling the goods. Yeah, and that's how my van is. My van is just it's a big Ford van that's a 3/4 ton truck basically.
And then I revived that 318 powered Ram, the green one, 2 summers ago. That's on my
Has it
channel.
been that long?
Well, if you
Man.
count this summer, then it was the summer before.
So, yeah, she actually has a pretty good,
It needs some work, but all
pretty
the,
good
we have
pickup.
all the
Yeah, it
parts
needs
already.
a few little things. Yeah, but it didn't have any headlights or anything. You got headlights in it now, and the bumpers are on it, and it's got an engine that runs, and the fuel system was a disaster, and it's fixed. And I remember you had leaks all over the place and wiring issues. All that shit's fixed. You know. Raining Slant 6 says outside surfaces are so close together that they don't even try to port match them at all, especially since they interleave the runners of both manifolds on essentially the same horizontal plane.
Yeah. Well, you can a little bit, but I just don't know on a Slant 6 if it's the biggest place to go for gains.
Did
But
you get
I
it
do
down through
understand. There's one that we didn't get through. I think it's that one.
Yeah, okay. I was quit paying attention. That's why I was asking.
But then again, it depends on your head. Like, there's a lot of different years in castings, so always investigate. See what it looks like. Oh, Project Creep is real. Oh, man. Project Creep is the name of every project.
So I know I'm gonna get another car pretty soon, but I'm gonna replace my newer Mazda with an older car, and it'll be something. It won't be like a new electronic car that I just drive. It's gonna be something older that I can work on and have a carburetor and have simplicity, and but I want to find something that isn't completely worn out or rusted or any of that kind of crap. So I'll drive it for a while, but it'll eventually be a project. And then the projects that I have currently are the aluminum car, which we were going to do. We got back from No Nim Nationals, and this car took that place. But we'll do the aluminum car after this. Whatever car I get, I'll have to do some, who knows? I'll probably have to do oil change and make sure the brakes are good and all that. But that's not going to be a big project creep. And then, so the aluminum car will be, well, we know that's going to be a big job. And then the Valiant, we gotta finish the Valiant, And of course, we have some studio stuff we want to do, home stuff, like finish the floor in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
We still have the floor in the bathroom still open, so that needs to be done. But that's that'll probably be a week-long project.
Yeah.
And then we'll have 2 bathrooms again.
That's crazy. It's been a long time. If anybody watched the old videos where I cut the hole in the bathroom floor to cut out the dead wood, it's still like that.
Project creep is what my high school prom date referred to me as. Project creep. That's that. I never thought about that. I was a project creep. Man, I had my van. I got
Is
this.
that like a starter husband
I got this.
project?
I got this white Ford van, you know, and normally what's in there is a ladder and a bunch of tools and whatever engine I'm hauling around, and just you can imagine, it's all the crap from a shop, you know. So I was out in Arizona, and I was driving that van, and I come out of the grocery store, and some woman standing, she goes, "You're so creepy. Why do you drive this van? You're so creepy." I'm thinking,
And he never forgot about it.
oh man, I felt like crap. You know, she thinks I'm some
Creepy
guy
old
that
man?
wants to put children in my van, I guess. I don't know. It's like, what do you got in there? I got a ladder
A
and
ladder?
some old greasy tools and
That was a reflection of her
cables,
mind, not yours.
big old like battery cables or something. An engine block, you know, like
Someone hurt that person.
you have no idea, woman.
Vans kick butt.
I seen found a Ford Fox Mustang today, but it was stripped of, oh, what's that word? Something doors and interior. 2.3 4-cylinder EFI, I think 1988 Mustang. You know, there's one here that's that I was looking at that's a Mustang. And same thing, it's a 2.3, which is fine with me because a V8 will bolt right into that. Cross member's perfect. So, and it runs and everything. And the price is pretty good on it, but then the guy doesn't have no title, owes money, won't tell me what he owes or where. It's like, okay, have fun selling that, you know.
He's looking for some sucker, and that ain't you, babe.
I had a similar white van too, no windows. Ford Econoline 150 conversion van. The steering wheel was as smooth as butter. Mine's an E250. It's a 2004. Yeah, it's an '04 E250, and it's got a 4.6 in it, and
a bazillion miles.
329,000 miles on it. Runs great. The only thing that's wrong with it right now is the battery's a piece of crap. So
Yeah, well, that's from.
the battery's got too many years on it. So you gotta have it hooked to a battery tender all the time, and you don't dare shut it off if you go somewhere. So I've just let everything lapse on it. But at some point I'll put a battery in it, and then, you know, bring the license and the insurance back on it because I'll need it for something.
Well, you got the sliding door. My door, I got the swinging side doors.
Yeah, I got the swinging doors too. Okay, what is this? On some online, probably inline engines, where they have the intake and exhaust on the same side of the head, they at least offset the height of the planes of the two manifolds, which can allow separate removal of the exhaust. So that's what I like about the Iron Duke.
Yeah, that's a shortcoming of this.
The Iron Duke is a crossflow head. A lot of people don't like the Iron Duke, but I think it's a great engine. But I had Iron Dukes when they were new. You know, if somebody had an Iron Duke, you know, it was a year old or newer. Yeah, mine has the swinging doors, and so does hers. We both have Ford vans.
Mine's got a bunch of signatures from last year's No Name Nationals.
She's got autographs all over one side of it from all the people at No Name Nationals and all their stickers. In fact, there's videos on that of people putting their stickers on it and signing it.
We should probably post those videos someday.
They're posted.
No, not all of those.
Oh, okay. Well, I know that there's ones where we talked to everybody as they were, like both Nivlaks, you know, Andrew and
Did we put those out ever?
Calvin both, yeah, and John Cope and John Wilburn and who else was there?
Yeah, Dallas.
Oh, Dallas, yeah, and Dylan and Brooke, and I don't know. There are a lot of people signing that thing.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah, we had a good time with that, and then we didn't take it this year.
No,
I can't believe it's been over a year since we did all that. That went.
I know. We're
A year went by quickly, didn't
a
it?
whole year and then some beyond that. We're really doing some cool stuff.
Did my van have an observation bubble? What is that? You mean like the little window in the back, or you mean up something on the
Oh no, the
top?
pop-up vent and
Oh no, none of that. Mine's a cargo van, and hers. What was yours? Was some kind of conversion? Because yours is the back windows are not Ford windows; they're
yeah, it has conversion van
conversion
windows.
van windows.
It must have been a conversion van that
It was
got
probably a conversion van that got unconverted.
got it to use for work.
And then, yeah, mine was a delivery van that was used in Arizona for some kind of doctors. I mean, you can still read the
Some
printing
kind of
on the
medical
side.
supply
Yeah,
delivery.
they just delivered medical supplies and oxygen and stuff. Because I know, and then what was really good is when I bought that van on eBay, I had the VIN and I checked it, and there was every service, every maintenance, everything was on Carfax that was done on that van. No, it's not a clear plastic dome. It's just a top, just stock top. I bought that van to be used as a truck, and I was running back and forth between here in Arizona and then up to Maryland and back. And man, got airplane parts that are aluminum and steel and things you don't want wet. It's perfect truck for that because you basically put everything inside. You can transport things through all kinds of weather and you don't destroy them. The other thing about airplane parts is they're really lightweight. And if you have a pickup, you got to find some way to hold all that stuff down without hurting it. And airplane parts don't always tie down nicely. Is it good you're running a tap down through those?
Yeah, you can feel it.
Okay, good. Good. I'm glad you did that.
Probably would have been okay, but no.
Yeah, but why
it
not?
is.
Why not? Just
No, it was smart.
chase the threads.
Yep. Feature creep.
And how do I know that that's a good idea?
You want threads that are good?
Because I have been assembling things and I should have chased the threads in that.
And then when it comes time to hot rod or change a thermostat or change a manifold, or
Oh man.
the stuff ain't broken. Stuff comes apart, and that's big. You don't want your stuff falling apart. And yeah, you can get somebody to do it, and they'll do it fast and cheap. But
Oh, that's the thing. I worked on other people's cars so much, and you get somewhere where somebody really didn't give a crap putting something together, and then you're the next guy with it.
oh man,
You wish you'd never seen
on
it.
a car this old, there's just no way around it. You're going to spend a bunch of time refurbishing stuff that doesn't
The old-
really need
the old-
fixed. It's just
The
not as
old
good as
Datsun sports cars before like the 240Zs, they had a little car that was about the size of an MGB. I forget I think it was called a 1600, little 1600 two-seater, and a little four-cylinder push-rod engine. And there was where the thermostat housing went on, there was an extension that came up. It was about this long, and it was aluminum, and there were 3 studs that came up through that were steel, and the thermostat went on top of that. I'm trying to think, maybe the thermostat was on the bottom of that extension. But anyway, you had to pull that extension off, and that aluminum extension would always be frozen on there, and you had to get it slided off those studs that were like 2 inches or so long. It's just what a pain in the ass those
Mike
were.
wants to just embrace the creep.
Yeah, you should have painted free candy on the side of your van. Okay, you want to know about that? There was a test officer out in Yuma, and I was parked out at the test site, and, it's all dusty desert, and he went over his finger and licked and wrote free candy on the side of my van.
Did he really?
Yes. And if you look carefully,
Did you have to beat him?
in the dust, you can still see, if you clean that van off real nicely, and you look in the sun, you can still see where the dust was scratched and it says free candy. And he thought it was funny. I didn't think it was so funny.
Yeah, you don't want to be giving out free candy.
Raining Slant 6 says manifold or headers without having to disturb or remove the intake. I found a way to do limited port match on Slant 6 by using a piece of 16th inch thick clear plexi that's 3.5 tall by 24.5 long. Yeah, Mike, you thought you were cool writing that. Somebody else already did it. What was that guy's name? I remember his name.
Mike
No, I was thinking for a second it was Mike, but it wasn't. It was close. The guy's name was Matt. Oh, and afterwards, he apologized. He goes, I thought that was a company van. Like, that makes any difference. Because I didn't know that was yours. I wouldn't have done it. And I thought, thanks, Matt. He was actually a pretty good guy. He's actually a pretty good guy. I just wish he hadn't done that.
Yeah, that's a jerk.
Because now you can still see it. Yeah, here we are 10 years later. I can still see free candy on the side of my van.
Still getting pulled over.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. When I saw that come up, free candy on the chat here, I was like, I was still saying something else, and I'm thinking, you have no idea. That's what it says on the side of my van.
The really terrible thing about it is you're not actually giving out free candy. It's false advertising.
I gotta have a beer with Matt. My sense of humor. You know, I don't know if he drinks. He's a strict vegetarian. It's kind of funny. Every time we had a big barbecue out there and cook a bunch of meat and everything, he'd always do all that. And he just prepared everything so well. And you know, out there you call it, you know, South barbecue is something else. Out in the West, barbecue is when you cook the meat on a grill. And he did that. He grilled everything and do such a good job, but he's a vegetarian. And, man. Oh, I saw him drinking a beer. Yeah, I know, he drinks beer. Sure he does. He's a really fun guy to hang out with, actually. And a good test officer. The test officers in one of those places, they're the people that are kind of like the air traffic control. They control everything out on the test range. So they're not really part of our team. They're like they're part of the test range. They're part of the range. So they're the range safety person and the you got to check with them before you do everything. So they're always with you, but and some of them are kind of jerks and some of them are really good. That guy was a really nice guy. I'd have a candy cane under a van. Have the drive shaft like busted radio garages car. Yeah, it's candy cane. Well, if you have a sign on the van, you got to keep a box of Skittles or something in the glove compartment. You know, you can hardly see it. It's just if you wash the van and you get in on the light just right, it's like, man, you can see where the guy's finger scratches from the dust were. I should go out there. The next time I clean that van, I should get some rubbing compound and go over this, probably disappear. Because that is kind of...
here, we put a new catalytic converter on that van because someone stole it.
Oh, so yeah.
We took it down to the car wash. You wouldn't believe the difference. It came so much cleaner.
Yeah, somebody stole a catalytic converter. So that was one of the first jobs Kim and I did together here, put a new catalytic converter on my van.
Yeah, you were impressed with my ability to catalytic converter undelete.
Somebody got it. You know what they did? They got on there with a sawzall and cut it off. What the good thing was, they didn't cut the wiring. They unplugged it. Unplugged the...
yeah, they did.
They unplugged the oxygen sensors. But somebody did that in our yard. Had the guts to go underneath somebody's van in their yard and cut the catalytic converter.
Very vacant.
Well, yeah, I was going places and doing things, so I was gone a lot. And They figured it out.
Very good.
I got a real good idea who did it, but I can't
Yep.
prove it.
No way to prove it.
Can't prove it.
Just because you know doesn't mean you can prove it.
Cattle lick thieves worse than horses thieves. Cattle lick.
They are.
Oh, cattle lick.
The new-
I get it.
The new horse.
It's Dean Stevenson. Cattle lick.
Oh.
And then there's the people that call them Cadillac. Cadillac converters. Yeah, convert your exhaust into a Cadillac. I knew a guy that worked in a muffler shop, young kid, and he called them Cadillac converters. Everybody kind of shake their head, you know. It's like, yeah, dude.
Yes. It's Cadillac.
Yes.
It's a Cadillac converter.
Is that out of that set, or is that the...
This is the one out of this set.
Okay, yeah,
It's
because
mediocre.
that one that's in the box over there is like a
Better.
really expensive one that I bought
I know. It's better.
separately. Yeah, this thing right here,
It's mediocre.
whatever you call that thing, I bought one that's really nice,
This is a
expensive,
really cheap set.
American-made one, and that is a
Pittsburgh brand.
yeah,
so that
Pittsburgh
would be,
brand, Harbor Freight.
Harbor Freight. I
Let's
mean,
see
it
here.
works for
Dual.
chasing threads.
DUEL, dual, like sword fight, dual exhaust, disc brakes, all the wrong things. 7-liter. Dual. Oh, what's that? I missed something. First thing, remove all the head studs except the one next to the thermostat housing. Also, it's obviously easiest to do if you have a block and head on end and stand and can rotate to... Did you watch the video? We posted a video, today? And it was... That's the one where we pulled the... Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had studs stuck in or bolts stuck that got broken off that turned into little studs because the heads broke off.
Mm-hmm.
And we got 2 of them out in that video. So I don't know if you saw that video or not. But that's right what it was. It's thermostat housing bolt and then another bolt. Disc. Oh, disc like the K. Disc brakes, not disc brakes. I always see it with a C. Disc. Disc with a K is the thing that goes in a computer, isn't it? I think. Liter. Yeah, liter is, there's the English liter. L-I-T-R-E is correct. But I guess in the U.S. it's L-I-T-E-R. I remember 1966 cars came out, late in 65. I kind of had this scientific kind of mind, and I studied everything that was mechanical. And they came out with a 7-liter coupe, and a guy on the radio was advertising, and he was calling it the 7 Litra. Instead of liter, he's called 7 Litra. He was one of the salesmen at the local Ford dealer.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, the other thing, there was a guy at the Chevrolet dealer, same thing, salesman, and he was calling it the vinyl roof. It's a vinyl roof, and he's calling it a vinyl. Car is a vinyl roof. You bozo, it's a vinyl roof. Liter is liter, not liter. Dean, it is liter. Yeah, and disc brakes are, what are they? They have a K on it in down under? Because disc, like on a Ford, on the brake pedal, it says D-I-S-C right on the brake pedal. So I know they're discs. D-I-S-K is a thing inside a computer, isn't it? I don't know. I actually don't know. But I know Fords have a C on the brake pedal. Disc with a C. Yeah, rating Slant 6. Look at the video I posted earlier today. Or actually, now it's yesterday. Because we're an hour into today. So, yeah, we were able to get the two bolts loose, the broken off bolts. And we used a propane torch.
Yeah.
Which was barely enough heat, but it was enough. It probably expanded the hole like a half thousandth or something. It was enough to got it loose.
We got her. We got her done.
I could put my hand on it. It was probably, I don't know, probably brought it up a couple hundred degrees, 200, 250 Fahrenheit, something like that. Then drill a hole for that front upper outermost stud in the plexiglass corner, making sure a hole is just large enough but won't allow the plexi to shift around. 3 key studs with the Slant 6 are the... He ran out of space to type.
It sounds like he has a ton of experience doing.
Sounds like he has a lot, yeah, with a name like Raining Slant 6 with a chance of cannonballs.
Does he have stuff on his channel about this?
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta go.
I know I've seen his name before.
I gotta go. See, this is. I'm gonna take notes here with my
this
phone.
This is high precision stuff.
I gotta go look at. I gotta go look at his channel. And
I may not use it on this build because we got to get this car together, but I've got another Slant 6, and this sounds like.
I'm taking notes with my phone.
This sounds like.
Who's leaving me? Who's leaving me stuff here? Oh.
We're listening.
Oh, this is it. Shaquille left a comment on that video I was just talking about breaking the bolt loose.
Okay.
He just put some faces, smiles, and stuff.
Cool. Thanks for commenting.
We're writing. Duel is one of my favorite movies, as in Duel. Yeah, it always cracks me up. I read all the ads of cars, and I'll have things like Duel, D-U-E-L, Dual Exhaust, and what's the other ones? I see all kinds of stuff where the stuff's not spelled right.
Can't think of anything real recent that was really egregious.
The ads I don't like is where people take pictures of cars and put them all different ways and upside down and sideways and weird angles. And I think they think that's cool. Or maybe they're just too dumb to put it on right side up. I don't know. But I see ads like that, and if it annoys me too much, I just stop. I'm not buying any car from this bozo. So those of you that think it's funny, you lose a sale that way. Looking at the interior of a car, and it's this way or that way, or upside down, car sitting in a driveway.
Maybe you're not the kind of customer they're looking for.
I'm not the customer they're looking for, I guess. No, I'm trying to look at the car to see how good it is, and or like 3 pictures of the car from the right side. No pictures of the left side, no pictures of the dash, no pictures of the hood open. It's like, come on.
The left side of the car.
It's like, come on.
Better suspect something at that point.
You never seen Duel? I have not. So there's something else I gotta do.
Well, if you weren't out here streaming all the time, you get caught up on all of these movies that everybody
go watch movies.
Yeah. Stop with this this foolish streaming and get with the times, buddy. Plus, I think Duel.
Well, you like it when I'm out here while you're working. I know.
I do. I get more done when there's company.
There's company, and you're talking on the live, and you're paying attention to me, and you're getting some work done. The Peterbilt tanker truck chasing down a red car in the desert. Oh, okay.
Heard of that?
I've heard of that too, now that I think about it. Oh, you're back to scraping again. Scraping the head off of the razor blade. Well, Kim, how late you want to work tonight? We've been on here 3 hours.
Let's be done.
You want to be done? Go back to the house.
What do you think, guys? Are you okay if we're done?
Yeah, everybody's okay if we're done.
It works.
We might be here tomorrow night. Who comes on Saturday night?
Is there anybody else you guys watch on Saturday night, or should we stream?
I don't want to overlap on somebody else's stuff.
Oh, well, there's always going to be some overlap.
Well, yeah, of course, but I mean it's all the card. Okay, here we go. Two outermost ones which fit the end holes in the exhaust manifold, and the center stud, which is what the intake manifold center hole pivots on.
Yeah.
She knows what you're talking about.
I do.
She built a lot of Slant 6s.
A couple of Slant 6s, not a lot.
Well, you built a bunch of them before you met me, and now you built more. You built the one in the Valiant and these, and yeah. Lester LeSabre says he's ready for bed. Okay, Kim. Time to say good night, Kim.
Raining Slant 6 with a chance of cannonballs. I'm gonna have to look at your
We're gonna go look
videos,
at your channel.
And also, we're gonna have to catch up on more of the details from you in the future because we're gonna be done.
I'm gonna take another.
He's tired. I could tell.
Yep.
And it's
well, we've been streaming for 3 hours. I mean, you know.
Yeah. No,
give somebody else a chance. Okay.
Thank you for coming in and offering of advice, and we're gonna keep working forward with this.
And you know what I'm doing? That's my here. I'll show you what I'm taking a picture of. Now I'll move the camera around. See this? We'll turn around here. You see the car, and you see this big old on its that's our screen. It's a 40-inch screen tipped on its edge, so that that's my chat. So I'm taking pictures of that, so I can keep all your notes. Taking notes with my phone camera. So we thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks for throwing out the experience here, because there's a lot of people who are not on YouTube who know a lot of things about a lot of things. The plexiglass, I'm sure there's more too, how to do this with the holes. I guess you mark it from the inside.
Well, I've used plexiglass on airplanes where you got to drill holes in certain places, and you just use the plexiglass before you put the skin on, and then when you put the skin on, then you use the plexiglass, or we use Lexan, but you knew where to drill all the holes.
The other thing that we could do that would be interesting in relation to port matching is we have a scope camera, so we could line it up, like mock it up, and then look the camera down and see how the alignment looks, and see if it needs work. That would be kind of interesting, right?
Okay, Kim. I don't know how long you're going to keep scrubbing at that when I say goodnight.
Not too long, so we're going to say goodnight.
Say goodnight.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you again soon.